Listos. We are live from Tampico. A night full of great events, great fights. We can't wait for their fights. We got 8 total fights on the fight card. This is the first fight of the night today. We got Gerardo Basaldúa coming out on the blue corner, and we have Luis Urbina coming out from the red corner.
Naciones MMA.
Here we have the announcer bringing us our first fight.
Esta función profesional. Vamos a presentar en la esquina azul al peleador Gerardo Basaldúa.
Basaldúa walks out to the center again. From Tampico even.
We have Gerardo Basaldúa walking into the cage right now. Gerardo Basaldúa trains at Lions Alpha out of Monterrey. Lions Alpha is one of the most dominant teams, in my opinion, in all of Mexico. It's a team headed by legendary OG fighter, Mr. Nino Marroquin. They're very well known for their cage work and their ground and pound work. Let's see how Gerardo Basaldúa does on his fight back.
Luis Urbina.
Luis Enrique Urbina is now walking into the cage. Luis Enrique Urbina is a very Muay Thai professional striker, Braxton fighter.
On the cage, Mr. Throw the view. Being here without fighting Naciones MMA from Tampico, Mexico. This Saturday, so for two, we have a good pitch to our announcer, Iván Gallego, for this, the first of 8 fights here in Naciones MMA 7.
Damas y caballeros, este es el siguiente combate de la noche en la división de peso welter. Presentando en la esquina azul con un récord profesional de 2 ganadas, 3 perdidas, dando un peso en la báscula de 170 libras, del mero Monterrey, Nuevo León, Gerardo Basaldúa. Su oponente en la esquina roja, haciendo su debut profesional y dando un peso en la báscula de 165 libras, de Reynosa, Tamaulipas, Luis Urbina. El referee para este encuentro, Ricardo Treviño.
All right, for the first night of the evening, Ricardo Cerrillo, our wrestling starting look at the first of 8 fights on here. Can you hear me, Sonny Lucas?
Yes, sir. I can hear you just barely, but I can hear you.
There we go. There we go. Congratulations from Tampico, Tamaulipas. This Saturday, October 14th, thank you to the direct corner, Mr. Urbina, and supporting Gerardo Basaldúa. Gerardo Basaldúa is winning excellent on amateur championship.
So right here we have Basaldúa again, man, with that beautiful takedown. We know Lions is known for this ground and pound, for this cage work. So this is kind of what I was expecting to see Basaldúa do. Takedowns, heavy on the top control, heavy on the ground and pound. Let's see how Urbina responds to this.
Trying to pressure Basaldúa. Tight control. With the elbows.
Here we see Basaldúa landing those elbows. Nice little short ground and pound. Again, this is what Lions Alpha is all about. They're all about that ground control. They're all about that ground and pound. So again, this is kind of what I was expecting to see Basaldúa do. Urbina's doing good. He's controlling that wrist, trying to shrimp out, trying to get out. Good little short elbows by Basaldúa. It looks like he's trying to sink in the head and arm choke right there. He almost has it. He would need to go ahead and get that right arm a little bit tighter on his left arm to get that bicep. Oh, it looks like Urbina's already out. He got that arm that was in trouble. He got it out already. So he's no longer in danger of getting that arm triangle choke. We see Urbina trying to threaten with a nice little Kimura arm lock, but Basaldúa is well aware of that and immediately pulled that arm out and went back to work with that ground and pound. I'd like to see Urbina maybe use the cage to get up. He's real close to the cage. I'd like to see him maybe use that right whizzer. It's kind of like an overhook. I'd like to see him use that right whizzer and maybe try to get up on the cage. Ooh, nice heavy elbows with Basaldúa. Very heavy elbows, nice ground and pound. Good heavy shots. Good heavy shots with Basaldúa. Oh, nice elbows. He's continuing the heavy pressure. Urbina recovers full guard. So if Urbina's not going to attack from here, he needs to release that guard and start looking to get up. Urbina doesn't have a BJJ background, not very well versed in BJJ from what notes we have. So I'd let go of that guard, and I like to see him stand up. Holding him in that guard is not doing anything for him, just keeping him down there, and Basaldúa is just unloading, you know. Good heavy elbows by Basaldua. Nice. Urbina's just covering up. Feels like it's going to be any second by this time the referee's going to call this fight. Good heavy ground and pound by Basaldua. The referee's getting closer, but it looks like Urbina was able to weather the storm. Looks like Basaldua's got that head and arm choke again, that arm triangle. This time it's tight. This time he tapped. Yep, that was it. He did tap. That was the end of the fight. Wow, man, look at Urbina. He's got nice little welts, nice little cuts on his face from those heavy elbows from Basaldua. I'm sure we're going to get to see some of those in the replay right now. Good victory by Basaldua, making his comeback to Naciones after making his pro debut at Naciones MMA. Had a little hiatus, went to go fight for some other promotions. Now he's back, and he came back with a statement. He looked very, very good on his comeback fight. Took care of a very well-versed striker. Took him down, took advantage of the ground game, and was able to land those heavy elbows and a heavy ground and pound to secure him that win. And at the end, get that head and arm triangle choke.
Mr. Sonny Luque, good evening. I think we have the gremlins out of this broadcast.
Yes, we're back on.
There we go. A nice katagatame. And this first fight of the evening, we're gonna have to do our classic bet. Sonny Luque, Rodrigo Campo here. Thank you for joining us tonight. Sonny Luque, 8 fights. This already doesn't count because we already have finished. But of the seven fights, how many finishes do you think we're gonna get tonight?
I'm gonna go ahead out of 7 left. I'm gonna go ahead and say 6.
Oh, that's bold, Mr. Sonny Luque. So you're saying 7 out of 8 fights tonight are gonna be a finish?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, we're gonna see. So here's the first one. Nice ground and pound, and just nicely taking the fight to the ground, going with the hammer fist. And just this volume, Sonny, you've been on both sides trying to stop another fighter, also imparting that volume on the ground, even though you like to keep the fight standing. Just this volume, especially with these fighters who have small careers, maybe 3 fights, 5 fights, it's just too much sometimes for you to try to and just get away and try to move. And here we go, another example, right? Like just emptying the tank when you see an opportunity.
Absolutely, that was overwhelming pressure by Basaldua. Overwhelming pressure for somebody that's not that used to. Urbina is a well-versed striker. So he's not very used to that overwhelming pressure Basaldua had. And like you said, man, those heavy ground and pound shots with the smaller gloves and those big elbows that did a lot of damage could be a little bit overwhelming if you're not used to it and if you're just starting your MMA career. But good experience for Urbina to get a fight like this out of the way, and let's see how he does on his future.
Yeah, good fight, good finish, and that instinct, Sonny, that instinct, you can't buy that instinct. Just going, trying to finish the fight. And, of course, the camp, and, of course, who's in this corner, Levi Marroquin, Nino Marroquin, that type of experience, those type of fighters, really, really. And we're going to talk about several fighters that have moved to Monterrey. They have moved to train with Lions, which is one of the greatest teams in Mexico now. And you can't buy that experience, Sonny, that training, those teammates, you know it. You've trained with them, especially in Monterrey. You can't buy that. And we see that killer instinct, that Lions instinct on Luis Urbina tonight.
Absolutely, man. The Lions, there's some killers, and like you said, I've had the pleasure of training with them many times. They're killers. They're coached by a great leader, Nino Marroquin, who himself is a legend in Mexican MMA, like they say, an OG of Mexican MMA. So a very well-trained team, very good team, and a great victory for Basaldua on his comeback to Naciones.
Great fight, and he took those years away, Sonny. He took those fights away, went to work somewhere else, and you can see the development, right? I think that's the most important thing. You can see the development, you can see how much he's grown, and you can see the opportunities he has taken. He's taken advantage here. Hopefully we can see him more in the Naciones MMA. Let's go see for the. Let's go to the announcement.
El referee de este combate detiene el encuentro a los 4 minutos con 40 segundos del primer round. El ganador por la vía de la sumisión de la esquina azul del mero Monterrey, Nuevo León, Luis Urbina.
So Gerardo Basaldúa, just to correct our announcer, Gerardo Basaldúa, the winner of this first fight at 440 of the first round with a submission win for the former Federación de Artes Marciales Mixtas de Mexico amateur champion, another fighter who has represented Mexico at the World Championship, the IMF World Championship. And we're going to be talking about it. Sonny Luque Rodrigo del Campo, thank you for joining us today under the production of Edgar Limon. And I want to take a few seconds just to send just a greeting, a hello, a hug to our producer, Andrew Alba, and to his entire family. And hopefully we can have him in the booth back again shortly. Sonny, we're going to be talking about the IMAF World Championships, about the amateur experience that these fighters have gotten in the last few years. Since 2017, where the Mexican MMA Federation, what we call as the FAMM, Federación de Artes Marciales Mixtas from Mexico, started organizing, Sonny, the national championship, the regional championships, then with the help of IMAF, joining the other federations in the continent for the Pan American Championship, the Worlds. And we're seeing these fighters, Sonny. We're going to see it in our main event tonight with Mr. Carlos Christian Torres. We're going to see that experience, those 5, 8, 7, 10 fights, that tournament experience, that World Championship experience. You can see it in the cage. So even though these fighters might not have the most extensive professional record, you can see a different fighter, Sonny, when they go into the cage.
Absolutely. You're seeing it right now with Gerardo Basaldúa right now as we see the replay. Gerardo Basaldúa is a project of the IMAF. You know, he was an international champion, national champion for the IMAF, had a lot of international experience. Mexico has caught up. You know, Mexico mixed martial arts is no longer behind people. You know, it used to be where, Mexico just has strikers, you know, and it used to be that was the talk. But Mexico has caught up. Mexico MMA has caught up, and it's large and thanks to programs like the IMAF and all these amateur programs that allow all these fighters to get their experience, to have a platform where they could fight, showcase their skill, and get better fighting other people that are just as talented or if not better. This is awesome. This is great for Mexico.
100%. Our next fight, Alexander Rodriguez against Jesus Paz. Want to know the record for Alex Rodriguez? 0-1 for Jesus Paz, 24 years of age and 30 years of age. There was a miss in the scale. We're going to talk about it after the official announcement.
Rodriguez.
Alexander Rodriguez coming out to the cage, the 24-year-old from Tijuana, Baja California, part of Demolition Fight Club under Coach Alberto Amaro. We're going to be talking about Demolition Fight Club and what that team in Tijuana has been doing under maybe the shadow of Entra, but now actually just going under and with great fighters and with great coaching, just putting the name of Tijuana on the scene again with local fighters and not just the international fighters that are training in Anthem. He's the first of 3 fighters from the gym in Dakar. Sonny, I want to tap into your experience here. Alexander Rodriguez missed weight yesterday for this featherweight fight. Weighed in at 150.5, got fined 30% of his check, but also, Sonny, had a rehydration clause of 160 pounds, which he nailed today at 5 p.m. local, getting to the venue. He was 160, he was under 160, then he could rehydrate a little more, Sonny. What is that experience as a fighter of having to fight still a little dehydrated with just a few hours to hydrate?
That's a nightmare, man. For real, that's a huge nightmare. Most fighters, I mean, and it also depends on the fighter. You know, how much did he cut? How much did he not cut? But that's a nightmare, man. You've already cut for a very long time, and then you got to cut again before the day of the fight. It's tough, man.
Nickname The Hobbit was Alexander Rodriguez, nicknamed Mr. Tadeo Jesus Paz from Monterrey, Nuevo León, another fighter from Lions Alpha team, the 30-year-old with a record of 0-1 amateur experience. This is his second fight in Naciones MMA with a very, very close split decision in August of 2022 at Naciones 9 in Saltillo. So this is the second fight from Jesus Paz. And this is also a phenomenon that we've seen growing, Sonny. Fighters that are a little older, that are making their debut, or their second or their third fight, they maybe trained for years. Some of them maybe even trained MMA for about a decade before deciding to actually be a professional fighter. Well, they have the form here in Naciones MMA to become a professional fighter.
Hey man, age is a number. Age is just a number.
Yes, sir.
Like I said, we don't get old because we don't stop playing because we get old. We get old because we stop playing. It's something I always love to say. So, hey, if your body says it, and if you can still do it, by all means, let's do it. I'm a petitioner of that. I'm 42. I still think I can go. But hey, age is just a number.
Let's go to Ivan Gallegos for the official announcement of this second fight of the evening.
Damas y caballeros, este es el siguiente combate de la noche en la división peso pluma. Presentando en la esquina azul con un récord profesional de 1 ganada, 0 perdidas y dando un peso en la báscula de 150 libras. De Tijuana, Baja California, Alexander el Hobbit Rodríguez. Presentando a su oponente en la esquina roja con un récord profesional de 0 ganadas, 1 perdida y dando un peso en la báscula de 142 libras. Del mero Monterrey, Nuevo León, Jesús Mr. Tadeo Paz. El referee para este encuentro, Ricardo Treviño.
Ricardo Treviño will be the third man on the cage. We're going to see what Alejandro Hobbit Rodriguez can do. He won his professional debut in 13 seconds, knocking out Cesar Rocha in Ensenada in June. Everything ready for the second. Go ahead, Sonny. Go ahead.
I was saying, Paz is a banger, man. We were lucky enough to see his first fight. He debuted in Naciones, and that was a hell of a fight, man. Both of them were banging. He was willing to trade. Kid's a banger. I'm excited for this one.
Pass with the red gloves. And Alexander Rodriguez with the blue corner and the blue tape. Pass immediately trying to go with a hook. Using his length, and the corner immediately asking him to use his length to try and prevent Rodriguez to getting close. In the center of the cage, trying to feint the kicks. And when you have such a hitter, Sonny, as Rodriguez, you're trying to look for the body shot. You're like trying to be long, trying to look for the jab, because you don't want these blitzes that Rodriguez can do.
Oh, and exactly, we see it right there. We just got a little touch, and that kind of rocked him a little bit. That Rodriguez got some heavy hands, man. That's some heavy hitter for a Hobbit.
Going with the hooks, trying to cover up, using the kicks too.
That was beautiful timing by the Hobbit to counter.
Remember, Hobbit that works under Coach Alberto Amaro at Demolition Fight Team. Alberto Amaro, a great kickboxer. And that's one of the main characteristics of his fighters, just a lot of body work, a lot of hooks, and using the kicks to get in there. Oh, that's a nice three by Rodriguez. Going with the body and cutting the cage, and I think that's the greatest thing that Rodriguez is doing right now, just cutting the cage and going with the hooks.
He's like a killer. He's like a shark. He's just going forward, man. The heavy shots going forward. Good defense. Look, he's catching everything. Everything Paz is throwing. He's catching those hooks with that right hand. We call it in boxing. We call that a catch. He's catching and then he's counting just like that. Beautiful work by Hobbit. Beautiful boxing. Beautiful kickboxing.
How difficult, Sonny, is it as a fighter when you're throwing everything under your punches, when trying to be long, and your opponent just keeps going and going and going for you.
Man, I fought a lot of guys like that. I call them zombies, man. It's just no matter what you do, they just don't fall. You keep hitting them, they don't fall, man. So it's a little discouraging, but as a fighter, you train for the whole fight. So you keep going. You got to keep going. You got to keep going with your game plan. Man, I think Paz has a big welt on the side of his head already.
Immediately, it's just those hooks. Look at that. On the right side of the forehead, right there.
Yeah.
On the right side of the widow peak. A hematoma immediately growing from the hook, especially the left hook. That Rodriguez throws, that's a beautiful three that he does. Let's see in the cage, going for the knee. Gonna get the underhook and then the elbow to separate again. The Cutman's gonna have his work cut out for him, Sonny, between the first and the second.
That was nice. He parried the jab and countered with the spinning elbow. Man, these kids' striking's pretty crazy. Wow.
That's the Alberto Amaro School in Tijuana, Sonny. Everyone says, entram in Tijuana. And of course, they're a great team. And of course, they've taken fighters from all over the world to the UFC and other promotions. But what Demolition Fight Club is doing is just one of the new teams in Mexico that shows different striking, different MMA. And here we see Rodriguez just being one of those pupils of Alberto Amaro, going left-handed and going again with the left hook, trying to finish him in the cage.
Beautiful combinations. It's body, head, body, mixing all his combinations, countering, blocking perfectly. A very good job at Demolition MMA. These strikers are looking very, very good, man. It's very, very technical and power. That's something hard to possess. You're either technical or you either have power. This kid has both, man.
And this is just his second professional fight, again with the left. He's going left-handed to try and get power in that hand. He needs to watch out. Pass. He's throwing against the left. Trying to get distance with the kicks. 50 seconds left in the first.
Paz needs to get some respect. He needs to land something heavy on him. Instead of going back, he needs to maybe try to claim the middle of the cage a little bit. He needs to get some respect from Rodriguez, because if not, Rodriguez is just going to keep walking him down. If I was Paz's coach, that's what I'd be saying. I'd be saying a little bit more forward pressure. Try to give Rodriguez something to worry about instead of just walking him down.
And the instruction from the corner for Rodriguez is just keep going. Forward. Again, left-handed. Trying to land that power left good kick by Rodriguez, taking him all the way to the edge of the cage. 10 seconds.
Nice.
Catch him with the right. Good low kick. That's a great counter off the jab, going with the low kick. The round's going to end, Sonny. Look at, but what a great job. Only his second professional fight. Alexander Joven Rodriguez showing that he's a fighter beyond his 24 years old.
Wow, I'm impressed, man. I'm really impressed by Coach Amaro and the work they're doing at Demolition. I had never seen this kid fight, and wow, his striking's amazing. Good defense, good counter work. Let's see if we could see some of his work right here. See right there, nice catch right there. He caught that hook.
What I want people to focus on at home, Sonny, is look at his sight. Look at his size, wide open, always focused, never flinches, never blinks when the strikes come, just completely attent, completely forward, completely focused on what he's doing, measuring his distance. And look at that, son. Even with the jab, even with the right, no blinking, nothing by Joven.
It's beautiful. Look at that. He catch, threw that overhand right over and landed it. These guys have real nice kickboxing, real nice boxing, man. It's I'd like to see Coach Nino tell Paz to use some of that ground and pound wrestling he has. Maybe put Rodriguez on the cage a little bit to try to stop a little bit of that striking he has, because he needs to change the game plan, because what he's doing right now is not working.
It's one of the things that people from Lions Alpha team do. Pressure you into the cage. And then just wrestle on top and try to take you down. Let's see if Paz with the yellow shorts, Rodriguez with the Mexico shorts. In the blue corner, going again with a hook. Looking for the head. Feinting with the kick. Let's see if he starts doing his kicks a little more.
Yeah, most of the first round, he mainly kept his boxing. He used his hands mainly. I'd like to see him open up with the kicks too as well. That's going to open up a little bit more of his punching games if he starts kicking like that. Good job.
With the left guard, Sonny is trying to do with the right hand. Trying to move the left hand and trying to go with a kick, but switches to orthodox again after the punches from Paz. Nice hook for Sonny. I get the feeling that Rodriguez is losing a little bit of power here in the second.
He's losing a little bit of power, and it also looks like Paz, they told Paz to pick it up, because Paz is being way more active than he was in the first round. He's letting go more. He's coming a little bit forward. Now he's not going back as much. And yeah, Rodriguez might have lost some steam as well. You know, his first fight was only 30 seconds, so he's never seen 5 minutes, much less a second round.
Pass to the low kicks. 30 was left. Asking Paz to go to the same. Rodriguez need to go forward. He's tired. But again, Sonny Bendono Rodriguez is losing steam and speed. He still controls the distance. Paz finally getting some space behind his back here in this sequence.
There he goes. That's where he needs to go. He needs that. That's how you fight aggression. How do you fight aggression? With more aggression. You know, you can't just be waiting for the aggressor to come at you. That's never going to be the game plan. You got to go forward. You got to bite on that mouthpiece. Throw back at him. Throw back at him. And let's make it a fight. And we saw Paz do that on his first fight. We saw him make it a hell of a fight with the guy he was fighting. So it looks like we're in for another banger.
They're asking to go to the stomach, to go to the body. Let's see if Rodriguez can gain space. Do you see Levi Marroquin in the corner? Paz just telling him, go forward, you can do this.
Exactly. That you need to go forward. That's how you stop these guys. You go forward. And that's also another way to conserve energy. That's what I coach in my gym. That's the way I like to fight. We always march forward. The body wasn't meant to go backwards. So you have to train a lot going backwards because, beautiful cross, because your tank is going to get empty a lot quicker if you're constantly going backwards. Our body's meant to go forward.
Rodriguez pushing forward again. Levi Marroquin asking Paz to go to his right. And trying to get more space again. Again, going backwards. He has very success when he goes forward. Good left. Bypass on the exchange. 133.
It looks like Rodriguez's output has stopped a lot. He went from throwing combinations of 3-4 punches to throwing one at a time now. And it looks like Paz is throwing the bigger combinations now.
Oh, double jab and then the right. By Rodriguez, who gets a second win with 1 minute left in the second. There we go, going with the jab, going to the body. Alberto Amaro, Sonny, asking for more body work by Rodriguez in this end of the second round.
I think that left hook hurt him. I think that left hook might have hurt him a little bit.
45 seconds. Levi Marroquin asking Paz to go to double jab and try to move forward. There we go. Nice combination by Paz. Trying to push the rhythm. Alberto Amaro, Sonny, very worried that Rodriguez is leaving his hands down and might get connected there.
He is putting his hands a little bit out. It's again, he might be pretty winded, and that's his hands are a little bit low. Look at that right there; they're hanging by his chest. And you got to be careful with the longer fighter. Paz is a lot longer, and we have seen Paz throw those long hooks, so we got to be careful with that. You don't want to get caught with something like that.
By Hobbit, 10 seconds left in the second. A nice three, beautiful second round by both fighters. We're gonna see, Sonny, the rhythm, the pace has been incredible in those first 2 rounds. Let's see what everyone has left in the third.
Man, it's wow! What a treat! What a fight! This is a hell of a fight. I'd give the first round to Rodriguez, and I think Paz took that second round, man. So it's an even fight. Whoever wants it is going to take the third. Let's see some of the action right here from the second round.
Hobbit trying to push. He stopped switching. There we go, Sonny. That's a sequence I really wanted to see. Thank you to Gerardo, one of the production staff today. We're going to talk about it because this was a hard install today in Tampico. When he started switching again to the left stance, Sonny, his rival had the answer. Paz really had the answer on the left, and with the jab, with the right kick, and immediately Hobbit just he did the entire second round orthodox because he was getting hit going left-handed.
Yeah, absolutely, they were reading that, and seeing that's where we needed to see a little bit more of Rodriguez too. It's a little bit in the middle of the round. He started throwing just one at a time. And Paz was throwing crazy combinations. Right now, we just saw an 8-hit combination right now on that replay. That's a crazy combination.
The main instruction for Hobbit is hands up. Always remember, hands up. That's what they're asking for the fighter of Tijuana. Third and final round. All of our 8 fights today. 3 5-minute rounds. Pushing Rodriguez immediately, going for the round. And you can see there, Sonny, the mark of Rodriguez being tired, putting his head down when he's throwing, trying to involve the entire body in each punch.
Yeah, he's throwing Hail Marys is what we call it. He's putting everything in those shots. So it's yeah, man. This is gonna be a battle of who's got the bigger gas tank. I mean, these are two good, well-known teams that we know are trained very well. So it's gonna be a battle. Who has a bigger gas tank? Who wants it more?
In this third round, if Rodriguez, they're telling him, like, you push him. He didn't make weight. He's going to be tired. You need to push him now with those long combinations as he did in the second.
That's great coaching, man. Try to get into your fight, into the opponent's fighter's head any way you can, even if it means reminding him that he didn't make weight. Great job.
That's a nice crisp 1-2 by pass. They're immediately telling Rodriguez, do not throw the overhand. You're going to get hit. And immediately it happened. Nice body kick. Nice combination by pass. Retaining the kick. And then 1-2-3-4. Oh, did you hear the Levy Marroquin? Sonny saying he doesn't have a heart. He didn't make weight. Go push him. And that's what Pass is trying to do, Sonny.
They're breaking. They're trying to mentally break Rodriguez. Like I said, that's good coaching. That comes with experience. You try to get into the opponent's head. Try to get the opponent to start listening to your opponent's corner instead of what's going on in the fight. Get in their head a little bit. Good job. Good job by Levy.
Nino Marroquin and Levy Marroquin, two veterans of the Mexican scene. Nino of the second wave of Mexican MMA fighters. Levy of the third. Nice combination. Crisp boxing by Pass. This third stanza. They're asking Rodriguez to go to the cross because he's missing a bunch in this third round, Sonny.
He's missing a lot. He's tired. And again, it's going one at a time. One jab, one overhand. One kick, one jab, one overhand. Those nice crisp combinations. Yep.
They're absolutely gone. And remember, Rodriguez missed weight and had a rehydration clause at 160 pounds, which he hit at 5 p.m. local. 3 hours and 38 minutes ago. So, of course, these are also the effects of having to either sweat a little more again to make weight or just delaying their rehydration until this afternoon.
And that's tough, man. That's very, very tough to do. I don't wish that on anybody. You know, you wait so long to finally weigh in on the day of the weigh-in. You're counting the days, you're counting the minutes so you can finally drink water and eat something. And then they tell you, no, you got to wait till tomorrow. And then you could maybe drink and eat something. That's horrible. But that's, again. Yeah, I mean, but that's part of the contract. These are professionals. This is a profession. Sure. It's a contract. He got the contract saying what weight he had to fight in with plenty of time. So, as a professional, you're supposed to hit your weight. So, I mean, it does suck that he had to weigh in again this day, but that's part of the contract, and he missed weight. So, It's
145 with a 1 pound allowance for this featherweight fight. They're just calling for the bomb on Rodriguez's corner. Levy trying to call Pass's attention with a towel. Asking him to go forward and pressure.
Good calf kick. Nice
low kick. Rodriguez with the right hand very low. Feeding heavy pass, trying to go forward, but Rodriguez says, Sonny Luque put it, a zombie tonight, just going forward the entire fight.
Man, cardio can play a factor on both of these guys today. They're both a little bit winded right now. But, hey, there was a lot of output. Those first 2 rounds, there was a lot of output by Rodriguez on the first one, a lot of output by Paz on the second round. This third round, it paid dividend. They're both tired.
And also the adrenaline, Sonny. The pace. Oh, nice kick by Paz. Trying to steal the round the end. The pace at the first was so quick. An adrenaline boost and an adrenaline dump. Great fight nonetheless by Alexander Rodriguez and Jesus Paz. Hey, Sonny, if it's going to be 3 rounds, this is the kind of fight that I want to see for 3 rounds.
Man, this is already candidate for fight of the night. It was hell of a fight. Action, action nonstop. It slowed down a little towards the end, but nonetheless, it was still action nonstop. I mean, they were both given as much as they were taking. Like I said, that first round I had Rodriguez, that second round I had Paz. That third round could have gone either way. It just depends what the judges were seeing. So it's going to be a interesting decision. I'm going to recline a little bit towards Paz. I'm going to say he did just enough to win, but let's see what the judges saw.
Yeah, I think the first, especially with the hematoma on the forehead of Jesus Paz, the first, obviously, for Alexander Rodriguez, but I'm with you, Sonny. I think they were very close rounds, but I think that Paz did enough in the second and the third to take a very close 29-20 decision on my card, which doesn't matter at all, Sonny Luque, because the ones that count are the three judges cage side in Tampico. Seeing the replay, Sonny, great fight, great fighters, trying to take advantage of the center of the ring, and I think what cost Paz the most in the fight is not being able to go forward, but we need to remind our viewers on the scoring of the judges, the dominance of the cage is the last tiebreaker. This is not a factor for scoring a fight. Damage and power shots, number one, especially in this fight, which never went to the ground, they're the number one factor to score the fight, Sonny. Maybe if one of the judges went to the second or third tiebreaker, then they're going to take into account the fact that Hobbit was going forward the entire fight.
Yeah, absolutely. But, Paz was countering smartly as well. So, I mean, it was it really does matter what the judges are seeing, what they're scoring. You never know. We have a guideline of what they're supposed to follow, what they're supposed to judge, but you never know what's in the judge's head. You never know what they're watching. Rodrigo, you've been through as much fights as I have, and you always know sometimes the judges call something that you're like, what the? But that's why they have that age-old saying, don't leave it at the hands of judges. But this is going to be a close one. We're going to see what they called up on this one.
Yeah, been around, guys commentating around 300 cards by now, and also you need to remember, not only the judges are human, they're next to the cage, their positions are different. What they see is different. We see the best angles. We see 7 cameras. We see a director. We see a switcher. We always see the best angle. The judges not always see the best angle. And there we go. As we're saying, Demolition Fight Club, Javi was saying with Alberto Amaro, they're the coach from this, which is becoming one of the best teams in Mexico. Let's go to the announcement.
Vamos a reconocer el esfuerzo de estos dos grandes atletas con un fuerte aplauso, por favor, que se escuche. Después de 3 rounds, el vencedor por una decisión dividida de la esquina roja, Mr. Tadeo Jesús Paz.
The split decision from Jesus Paz, I would have liked the cards to be red, but probably, Sonny, what we were saying, right? At 29-28 with the third round for Paz, the first round for Javier, and that very close second round.
Absolutely, man. That's kind of where we both had it at. Like you said, I would have liked to have heard the cards too, but it's spot on by the judges. Good call in my opinion. That was a good call. Very good fight, back and forth by both fighters, both countering, both giving as much as they took. But like we said earlier, I think Mr. Paz did just enough on that second round and third round to sneak by this victory.
That's Jesus' second fight in Naciones. And both of them have been split decisions, losing the first one in Naciones 9 and now in Naciones 17, winning his second fight. Let's go to the third fight of the night. Eric Muñiz against Raul Sanchez, both fighters debuting as professionals, 24 years of age for Eric Muñiz, 32 for Raul Sanchez. Both of them very nicely under the welterweight limit, with Eric Muñiz using 0.3 of that 1 pound allowance. And at the height, Raul Sanchez 6 feet 1 inches, 1 meter, and 84 centimeters, 8 centimeters taller than Eric Muñiz. We're going to see if the reach is going to be a factor in this fight.
Excelente público de Tamaulipas. Reciban con un fuerte aplauso al peleador de la esquina azul, Eric Muñiz.
The local fighter from Ciudad Tampico, Tamaulipas, 24 years of age, Eric Muñiz, making his professional debut. The fighter from Yakuza Fight and Brasa teams here in Tamaulipas, purple belt in Jiu-Jitsu, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, an amateur national champ in Mexico in 2019. And he was very clear, Sonny, before this fight, I'm a grappler, I'm taking this to the mat, and I'm looking for submission.
That's right away. He was very clear about his game plan, his intentions. And, that's always good. You always want to see that. Some fighter that already knows, in a sense, what his game plan is. That means that's what him and his team have been training. So he's already determined. He already has a game plan. He's going to go execute it. See what happens, because sometimes, sometimes things don't go as planned. So let's see if he has a plan B.
And as we were saying, very important amateur careers that these Mexican fighters and Latin American fighters have been able to make in the last few years, and national champ in 2019, which eventually means the amount of tournaments that he's done by now, 10, 15 amateur fights, and of course they're not professional. And we're going to talk about the Naciones next project that Naciones MMA has been taking into every one of the cities they're visiting in this 2023, allowing amateur fighters to fight at a big show, at a big cage, under the bright lights. Eric Muñiz making his professional debut after a long amateur fight that seemed crowned as national champ in Mexico.
¿Dónde está la gente de Tampico, Tamaulipas, que le da la bienvenida al peleador de la esquina roja, Raúl Sánchez?
32 years of age for Raul Sanchez from Tampico, Tamaulipas, and XS Academy. And Sonny, we're putting him at 0-0 as if this was his professional debut. He has fought before local organizations that didn't send the record to any of the official record keepers like Sherdog or Topology. He's 0-0 there. We're taking them as a 0-0. He has fought professional before. That was several years ago, so we're going to see if he actually grew. He's been focusing in Muay Thai. He's a Muay Thai fighter, a BJJ purple belt, and as Eric Muñiz, a local fighter here from Tampico, Tamaulipas.
Yeah, this is Mr. Raul Sanchez, man. He's a crowd favorite. You heard the crowd as soon as they called his name. And yeah, like you said, this in Mexico, back in the days and even now, there was a lot of smaller promotions that just don't register the fighters' records. So there's no way of officially knowing what their official record is. So, for example, right now, Mr. Raul Sanchez right here that officially doesn't have any fights on record doesn't mean he doesn't have any experience. He has plenty of experience, and he's a very, very good fighter from the notes we have. But he officially doesn't have any fights registered on his record on any of the major forearms.
One of the biggest cases of that is Jair Rodriguez, which went to the UFC and the Ultimate Fighter, I think with 6 professional fights in his record. Jair had fought more than 15 times before that, so that's one of the little known secrets in Mexican MMA. So here we go for this, the third fight of the evening in the welterweight division. Eric Muñiz against Raúl Sánchez. We're going to go to the cage for the official announcement with Iván Gallegos.
Damas y caballeros, Naciones MMA y DAZN traen para ustedes el siguiente combate de la noche en la división de peso welter. Presentando primero en la esquina azul, haciendo en casa su debut profesional, dando un peso en la báscula de 170 libras, de Tampico, Tamaulipas, Eric Muñiz. Su oponente en la esquina roja, también haciendo en casa su debut profesional, dando un peso en la báscula de 168 libras, de Tampico, Tamaulipas, Raúl Sánchez. El referee para este encuentro, Héctor Molina.
First appearance on the cage for referee Héctor Molina, third fight of the evening. Eric Muñiz versus Raul Sanchez. We heard the crowd, Sonny. Local against local. This is going to be a hot one.
It's a battle for Tampico, man. Did you hear that crowd? I got goosebumps. That was awesome.
Muñiz in the one, immediately pushing the pace and going for the takedown. Raul Sanchez in the black. Muñiz told us, Sonny, I'm going to go get the takedown. I'm taking this to the ground immediately. And with the single leg and the drop, Sonny, immediately on full mount.
He wasn't lying. That was a Daniel Cormier style high crotch takedown, man. He wasn't lying. He went straight for him.
On full mount, trying to go with the elbows. Sanchez trying to grab him in close distance. And Muñiz isn't precisely a big welterweight. He should be a lightweight, honestly. Going with the elbows. Trying to be heavy in this position. Sanchez moving the hips, trying to get him off.
Yeah, Sanchez has, he's a purple belt, it says, but you're not going to win a fight from the bottom punching. He needs to start escaping, pushing one of those legs out, recovering half guard. Wow.
Ooh, nice elbows by Sanchez. Sanchez just covering Muñiz. Going with the punches. Hector Molina, the referee. Very close. There's no intelligent defense by Muñiz, who's finally trying to get the sweep with the legs. This is why we say there's purple belts and purple belts, because there's no really sunny attempt for a sweep here. Going with the elbows and the hammer fist. This could be it.
He's got no escape there. He's got no way of escaping there. He's got nothing. Yeah, this is seconds away from being stopped.
Muñiz looking at referee Hector Molina. And there he goes. Apaguen la luz y vámonos. A high crotch takedown planted him on the canvas, and Sonny Luque emptying the tag till he has the stoppage in this, his professional debut.
And he still has some more energy to pick him up again. He wasn't playing when he told us exactly what he was going to do, and I love that. I love when somebody comes and says what he's going to do, goes inside the cage, under the bright lights, in front of the TV, in front of all his hometown, and does exactly what he said he was going to do. This kid's for real, man. I like him. I can't wait to see him again.
Brasa is his team. He comes from Yakuza 5, and Brasa, and that's what he's showing in the mouth guard, and we're happy to be in Tampico, and we're happy to be seeing this local talent, local teams that we wish we can say we can see in the future of this promotion. And so we have to mention Raul Sanchez, honestly. If you tell me you're a purple belt, if you tell me you're a Muay Thai fighter, I didn't see you sprawling. I didn't see you try to sweep. I understand you're 32. I understand you fought before, but Sonny, Eddie, this is his professional debut. The high crotch was fine. The ground and pound was fine. He couldn't really get power in it, but you finished the fight. But Raul Sanchez, really didn't show me anything, Sonny, with his back to the canvas.
Absolutely, I mentioned that. I mentioned how he was a purple belt, and it's his defense looked not very. Very white beltish. I'm sorry to say it, but it's
it is what it is. It is what it is.
It is what it is. There's a lot of basic stuff that you could do right here to escape. That as a purple belt you should know, and he wasn't doing any of it. He wasn't doing any of it. So yeah, man, it's wow.
Referee Hector Molina did his job, gave him time because the punches weren't really that tough, that hard. But there was no attempt to escape, and he ended up having to stop the fight. And look, I'm not the one fighting there, but if you're smiling after you get your ass kicked like that, Sonny, there's several things you need to think back when you go back to the gym.
La pelea al minuto con 34 segundos del primer round, gana por la vía del knockout. El peleador de la esquina azul, el de casa, el de Tampico, Tamaulipas,
A successful professional debut for Eric Muñiz, winning the fight by technical knockout in the first round by the amateur national champ of 2019 here in Mexico. Sonny, hey, the high crotch was beautiful. We have to give him that.
That was an awesome Daniel Cormier style high crotch, man. That was nice. Elevated him from the ground, slammed him to the ground, then went right to work, man. We saw Sanchez wasn't giving him any defense, any struggle to escape or whatnot. So he just did what he had to do and got that finished ground and pound.
I'm a fan, Sonny, and honestly, I don't know if you do, but I do have a favorite high crotch slam by Daniel Cormier. Do you have one?
Man, yeah. I'm going to let you go ahead and go first, and then we'll see. Which one's yours?
Josh Barnett in the Strikeforce Grand Prix. When he lifted the humongous Josh Barnett off his feet and just slammed him, and the face of disbelief on Josh Barnett's face is just incredible. Obviously, Daniel Cormier, a two-time American Wrestling Olympic, part of the Olympic team in two Olympic Games. One of them he couldn't participate on. The other one was very close to the medal round, and obviously with great showings at Worlds in wrestling. That one it has been stuck in my mind, Sonny, for 10 years now.
A beautiful takedown, and I mean, there's wrestling, and then there's Olympic wrestling. So like I said, there's levels to stuff, and he's one of the ones that's at the highest, especially for the MMA. My favorite's got to be one of the slammed where he slammed Gustafsson, where he just completely flipped him over and slammed him on the side. I love that one because Gustafsson's a beast of a man, and just to get turned over and slammed like that.
Let's just say Cormier is a fan of slamming tall people. Our fourth fight of the evening, pro debut for Jocelyn Ortiz and Estrella Covarrubias, 23 and 22 years of age. This was a 120 catchweight. Both of them missed a weight, but with a fine. All of them are fine for this fight. 165, 1 meter, 65 centimeters for Jocelyn Ortiz in the height. 154 for Estrella Covarrubias, or Fatima Covarrubias, as he likes also to be called, the fighter from La División del Norte. We need to talk about her in a second.
Naciones MMA. El poder femenino se hace presente. Vamos a recibir a la peleadora de la esquina azul con un fuerte aplauso. Ella es Jocelyn Ortiz.
From Tijuana, Baja California, Jocelyn Ortiz is ready for her professional debut. 23 years of age, the second fighter from Demolition Fight Club. Tonight in the Naciones MMA cage. She was a kickboxing champ in local organizations in Mexico. And she has, Sonny, and we're going to see it tonight, over 20 amateur fights combined between MMA, boxing, and kickboxing.
Absolutely, yeah, and she's coming out of that demolition team in Tijuana that we were just talking about. That it's up and coming, making a lot of noise, a lot of strong fighters, and we're going to see some of the best fighters they have to offer today. But this team is very, very hot, coached by Mr. Amaro. Great team, and I can't wait to see. But this girl has that same aggressive striking style that demolition team out of Tijuana is known for.
And you just saw, other than Alberto Amaro, Alexander Rodriguez, the Hobbit, who just fought to a split decision against Jesus Paz. He's also going to be in Jocelyn Ortiz's corner for this, her professional debut. There's the fighter from Tijuana, donde nace la patria, we would say in Mexico. The 23-year-old ready for her professional debut. She's going to be in the blue corner.
Damas y caballeros, les pedimos un fuerte aplauso para recibir a su oponente, Estrella Covarrubias.
Estrella Tiny Bull Covarrubias. I already like her, Sonny, because those are the notes of Le Tigre and the legendary Kathleen Hanna on her walkout song, 22 years of age. From Monterrey, Nuevo León, she trains at La División del Norte with Quique Locote Gonzalez. And Sonny, he is part of the fighters that got scouted by Naciones MMA in our tryouts this year in August at that gym at La División del Norte. He's a fighter who went through the local amateur scene and she makes her debut, Sonny, as the first fighter from that tryout in August by Naciones MMA.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that a fighter from La División del Norte comes out to this song. Very, very fitting for their team.
I love it.
But yeah, Estrella Covarrubias is a product of our scouting. Of our camp where we were Naciones looking for up and coming talent. She was one of the ones. I was in the first one that we did. Everybody liked what they saw, and we went ahead and offered her a fight. And here he is making her pro debut out of the Naciones MMA tryouts. Let's see how she does, man. She trains at a very tough team. La División del Norte is one of the top 3 teams, in my opinion, in Monterrey, and we already know Monterrey is one of the hotbeds for MMA in Mexico.
A reminder to follow Naciones MMA on our social media. You're going to find us at Naciones MMA, Twitter, Instagram, etc., or X, as you want to call them. And also, for every fighter that is close to Mexico, hey, we're going to be having more tryouts eventually next year, so you want to be in the Naciones MMA cage, be ready on our social media.
Caballeros, la siguiente pelea de la noche será en peso pactado. Presentando primero en la esquina azul, esta noche haciendo su debut profesional y dando un peso en la báscula de 120 libras. Desde Tijuana, Baja California, Jocelyn Ortiz. Presentando a su rival en la esquina roja, haciendo también su debut profesional y dando un peso en la báscula de 123 libras. Directamente desde Monterrey, Nuevo León, Estrella Covarrubias. El referee para este encuentro es el señor Ricardo Treviño.
Ricardo Treviño will be the third one in the cage. You saw the tiny bull warming up like the bull. Ready for this professional debut at a catch weight of 120, Sonny.
I was about to say, did you catch that? That was kind of cute. The tiny bull kicking dirt. That was cute.
Let's see if the kicking of the dirt shows up in the fight. Red corner for the tiny bull Covarrubias, Espinosa. With Jocelyn Ortiz in the blue corner today. The height immediately looking as a factor in. Ortiz in the blue corner, working with the jab. We can see immediately, Sonny, from... That's a good overhead. And one can see immediately from Demolition Fight Club, Sonny, again. The blue corner immediately trying to take space and trying to dominate the cage.
Heavy hands.
That's in there with the ride. They're asking Jocelyn in the blue corner to go for combinations. Oh, nice low kick by Ortiz. And now getting Covarrubias next to the cage. Looking for the knee. Looking for the plum, but it's Covarrubias. Missed the kick. Looking for the elbow. Covarrubias with the plum. You just couldn't close it there, Sonny. And the size of Espinosa just being a factor here in the first round.
Yeah, the size definitely a factor when you're trying to get somebody on the plum much taller. You're very short, and trying to get somebody taller on that plum is very hard to do unless you're Sancha, But that's right.
They're asking for elbows by Jocelyn Ortiz.
We see Estrella with the overhooks, with the whizzers. I'm trying to see if she has both of them or if she only has the whizzer on her left side. Yeah, she only has one. She only has one whizzer.
Trying to get the underhook with the right. Trying to get the hips away from the cage. Trying to go perpendicular and exit. Good elbow by Espinosa and escape by Covarrubias. She needs to rotate and leave.
Oh.
Rotating elbow by Covarrubias, but Sonny, she kept her back to the cage, and Espinosa can pressure here and put her in the same position again.
I'd like to see that, exactly. I'd like to see, we have Covarrubias very close to the cage, Estrella very close to the cage. I'd like to see Espinosa just put the pressure. It looks like she has heavy hands. So I'd like to see her, just put those heavy hands on her and put Estrella on the cage like this. like they say, make it an ugly fight. You know, put her on the cage, beat her up a little bit with some short shots. If you could get a nice little takedown, get a nice little takedown off the cage. She's working those over elbows very well. Yeah, that's the second one she lands.
That's the instruction from the corner immediately. Jocelyn, elbows. So the same elbow. There we go.
Yeah, that over elbow is there for her. Oh, nice.
Just getting off the hook by Covarrubias and going. Using her height advantage with the elbow. Again, another elbow. By Espinosa, nice plumb in the knee. Again with another elbow. Good uppercut on the exit.
Very nice work by Espinosa on that clinch work, man. She was moving her hands well, throwing the elbows on the openings. Very good work on that clinch work, tight clinch work.
And Covarrubias, Sonny, when they separate a little, she just cannot escape. Very slow on the exit, and again Espinosa catches her. They're asking to go to the waster, and again Espinosa with the elbow. 1:15 left in the first.
I don't see Covarrubias doing anything to escape. I see her holding on. She's got the wizard. Good. She needs to get that underhook on that other hand. Or right there, she's got double wizard. Let's put those double wizards tight. Let's turn her to the cage or maybe go for a takedown. I'd like to see her go for underhooks and maybe turn her against the cage, but she's not doing anything to get herself out of the cage. She's just holding Espinosa.
Use the legs, use the hips. Trying to go perpendicular and exit. Get the hips out, split your legs, and try to run back and then rotate and get away from the cage because she's basically given Espinosa the first round.
Yeah, the coach is telling her she needs an underhook on the other side. She's got a wizard on one side. She needs an underhook on the other side. Push the wizard inside. Use that underhook to turn her over towards the cage.
That's her professional debut, Sonny. She's not listening to the corner, and the corner immediately, Sonny, very smartly was listen, trying to call her attention, but I think she's just a little overwhelmed, Sonny, and this is the first round of her professional career.
Yeah, it does factor. I mean, once you're on the bright lights, the big TV, the cameras, and, you know, it does factor the cage, man. The cage is very psychological. You know, you train and everything, but once you hear that cage lock and once you're in there, it's a completely different ballgame, and fighters deal with it differently.
You've had both experiences, Sonny, as a fighter and now as a coach with your team, the Laredo Kickboxing Academy. You've seen fighters that normally when you're training, they're good listeners, they're good active listeners, they do exactly what they're told. And the moment they're in the cage, as you say, with the lights, with the opponent, getting hit, no longer a drill, that listening just goes away.
Man, you'd be surprised how much I get headaches with that. That's why I'm bald, Rodrigo. That's why I'm bald right now. I've lost all my hair trying to tell my fighters what to do. You know, they don't listen to me, man. That's why I'm bald. I'm telling you.
It's a skill. That's what we keep saying. Everything you do in the cage is a skill. Even listening, when you're in the cage, ends up being a skill.
It is, and you got to train your fighters do that. That all comes during fight camp, during your training classes. You got to train your fighters to make sure they listen. Listen to your coaches. Always be listening because we have a different angle than what you see on the inside.
First round clearly for the blue corner. Let's see if Covarrubias can change things. Good spinning back elbow, but again, gives up the position. Let's see if she can actually exit from here. And also for Espinosa, Sonny, we can hear Alberto Amaro in the corner now. Do like I told you between rounds. Go with the elbows. Go hard with the elbows. Because they see her dominate, Sonny. They want to see her finish.
Correct. They see that Covarrubias is not putting much of a struggle to get out because she really isn't doing anything to get out. She's just holding. So that's good coaching by Amaro. Go lay the lumber. Go heavy. Go heavy on those elbows. Get that finish. If she's giving you the finish, she's not giving you a struggle. Take it.
Covarrubias again.
See,
just
right there,
next to the cage.
Exactly. They're giving her space right now to get out, and she's not doing anything. Maybe she feels safe with her back behind the cage. A lot of fighters tend to feel safe with the cage behind their back, which is not the place you want to be.
And there's no safety here. She's getting pieced up. She's getting elbowed. She's losing positions. She's ineffective leaving the cage. 330. Espinosa cutting the cage a little bit. She needs a little more lateral movement. Nice combination by Espinosa. Covarrubias just eating the damage, Sonny.
I mean, the coaches are giving her the correct directions to escape from there, but yeah, she's not responding to what the corners are saying. She's still there.
Even Espinosa, Sonny, she's close to her corner, and we heard Alberto Armado, please do what I'm saying. And I guess you were saying the coach having a different angle, having more experience, and trying to guide his fighter to a finish. Looking for the uppercut on the exit. Covarrubias finally leaving the cage, and again Sonny just loses the middle of the cage, and it's again just very close to the fence.
Yeah, she moved away from one side of the cage and went to the other one.
Espinosa can't cut the exit, and that's how she's losing that uppercut. Following and not cutting. But again, as we mentioned, they're professional debuts. Oh, that's a nice cut.
See that cut? Yeah.
Yes, sir. On the left eyebrow of Covarrubias, and referee Ricardo Treviño should see if this is... Oh, she's touched. Espinosa trying to push. Going for the uppercut. This could be the end. Again, going for the right. With the elbow, close elbow. The referee close by, seeing where the cut is exactly.
Yeah, she's already looking for that.
This could be it. This could be it. Wow. Vámonos. Incessant pressure by Jocelyn Ortiz gets her the finish in the second round.
Great performance by Jocelyn Ortiz. Aggressive striking like we've been accustomed from seeing by the demolition team of Mr. Amado. Great performance by Jocelyn. Maybe it wasn't time for Estrella or whatnot. Her performance was very lackluster. You know, she even looked like she kind of gave up right there at the end. She didn't even wait for the fight to finish. She kind of waved the fight off herself. Hopefully she's okay. Hopefully she goes back into the books and reevaluates if MMA is what she wants to do, or see what she wants to do. But yeah, it's a lackluster performance by Estrella.
Yeah, and then that elbow, the moment she was cut, you see her whole face just changed. And that's exactly when she got touched by her rival. Gonna see the cut. Ricardo Treviño, the referee, was getting close because that cut on the eyebrow is absolutely fine, but he was trying to see if it was on the eyelid, which is one of the danger areas where you could see a stoppage by a cut. And of course, Covarrubias is very emotional, Sonny. It's a very difficult time. You prepare yourself, you work for months, and obviously no fighter thinks this is how the fight is gonna go for them. And then you have a very flat performance like this, and it obviously, especially on your professional debut, Sonny, just breaks your heart.
Yeah, it's very emotional. I mean, yeah, it does break your heart, but it's, a very lackluster performance. Again, maybe lack of experience, and two, she is just starting. This is her pro debut. A lot of beginner fighters aren't used to seeing their own blood. They come from an amateur background where, they stop fights a lot quicker. Cuts aren't very common. You come to the pro levels, you don't know who you're going to fight. This girl Jocelyn's very well versed in Muay Thai, very well versed in the elbow. She was working that tight clinch, very nice, sneaking those elbows. You get cut, some fighters panic. Some fighters panic, they see blood, they want to stop the fight right away. And that's kind of what I think happened here to Mrs. Estrella right here.
And then we see it from the outside, right, Tony? But as a fighter, sometimes you're obsessed with trying to do the same thing over and over again. You're not listening to the corner. And I think that also happened to Covarrubias here. Just didn't end. And that right hand, that's the beginning of the end. Just touching Covarrubias, putting her on skates.
See, right here is where she kind of waves the fight herself. She was like, nope, I'm done. I don't want any more of this. I'm done. So, yeah, I mean, heavy hands by Jocelyn. I don't want to take anything away from Jocelyn. That was a great performance. She did exactly what she needed to do. She went forward. She walked an opponent down, laid the lumber on her, laid those heavy hands on her. Beautiful combinations. Again, very impressed by what I'm seeing from Team Demolition so far. Even though their first fighter didn't get the win, it was a hell of a fight. So far, fight of the night for me. And with that candidate for fight of the night, we can't forget to give a shout out to our matchmaker, man, Israel Guzman, Kavash, putting all these fights together. That awesome fight between Jesus Paz and Rodriguez. Hell of a fight, man. Hell of a fight. And a shout out to Kavash Guzman, Israel Guzman, man. Shout out for these great fights, brother.
Gana por la vía del knockout de la esquina azul, Jocelyn Ortiz.
There's the finish by Jocelyn Ortiz. 1-1 for Demolition Fight Club, and they're going to have action in the co-main event of the evening with Gabriel Tinajero. That's half of the show already done, 4 out of 8 fights. And we're going to move on to a fight in the bantamweight division. Jose Acuña versus Francisco Ortiz. 0-3 for Acuña, 0-0 for Francisco Ortiz. Both of them very easily under the bantamweight division limit. But Sonny Jesus Acuña, even though he was just 133.6, Sonny, he's 6'1" fighting in the bantamweight division.
That's crazy. That wow, a 135er. Wow, that's that's crazy. Let's see how he uses that height to his advantage, man. Because wow, that's crazy.
Un fuerte aplauso al peleador de la esquina azul. Él es Jesús Acuña.
I'm digging the jam.
Bailando de Gavilán, Jose Acuña. And in his corner, Manuel Loco Torres. Jose Acuña, the 26-year-old from Zacatecas, was training at La Familia gym, formerly known as Delincuentes, which is the gym that gave us Jose Alberto Tec Quiñones and Cristian Quiñones. He's been training in Tijuana for a while, and now he's training, you see him in the hat, Manuel Loco Torres, the UFC fighter, at a gym that he has started, and where he's taking some of the fighters that have moved to Tijuana to start training. He has amateur boxing experience. He considers himself an all-around fighter, and also another great fighter, Sonny Levy Marroquin, helping in the corner. So a lot of power in that corner, Sonny Levy Marroquin and Manuel Loco Torres.
It's a lot of experience, man. That's a lot of experience. How we've just been mentioning a demolition team, and now we're going to see a Loco Torres. You know, a lot of teams coming out of what used to be Entram. You know, a lot of teams. Entram still exists, but there's a lot of teams now coming out of what used to be that, making their own teams, making their own little sections. You know, with their own training partners or whatnot. So we got a lot of firepower, a lot of talent all over Tijuana. So this is just another team we get to see from. I'm a huge fan of Loco Torres, man. I love watching him fight. So if he's coaching his fighters to fight anything like him, I can't wait to see it.
Yes, sir. Francisco Ortiz.
Francisco Ortiz, the 27-year-old from San Luis Potosí, training out of Pitbull's Academy, which is why he's using the song as a walkout. He trains with Danny Solórzano, the national amateur Mexican MMA national coach. He started his martial arts journey in karate, like many of the MMA fighters, karate, taekwondo, and then eventually moved to MMA, as many of the Mexican fighters do. So let's say, Sonny, Francisco Ortiz, he says, I'm a fajador. I'm one of those Mexican fighters that will go forward, that won't go away. We're going to see with the length and the corner of Jose Acuña if Francisco Ortiz in his professional debut can actually do what he's been saying he can do.
I'm gonna love to see this. You know, it's a fajador. You know, I've been categorized as that many times, so it's I like to see people that call themselves that. I like to see people that are categorized as that. But now let's see if he comes through. You know, it's one thing to call yourself that, and it's another thing to come through with it. So let's see, man. We got a fighter, two fighters with 0 wins. So somebody's always gonna go.
Last checkup by the commission. I'm trying to start this 5th fight of the evening. You know who Acuña reminds me of, Sonny?
Who?
Reminds me of George Roop, the bantamweight fighter for the WC and the UFC. One of the tallest bantamweight fighters ever. He was 6'1" too.
El siguiente combate de la noche será la división de peso gallo. Presentando primero en la esquina azul con un récord profesional de 0 ganadas, 3 perdidas y dando un peso en la báscula de 133 libras. De Zacatecas, Jesús Acuña. Presentando a su oponente en la esquina roja, haciendo esta noche su debut profesional y dando un peso en la báscula de 133 libras. Desde San Luis Potosí, Francisco Ortiz. Referee para este encuentro, el señor Ricardo Treviño.
Ricardo Treviño, the third man in the cage for this 5th out of 8 fights tonight in Naciones MMA 17. Thank you for joining us this evening from Tampico, Tamaulipas, Mexico, alongside Sonny Loco Luque, Rodrigo del Campo, today under the production of Edgar Limon. Our announcer, Ivan Gallegos, leaving the cage. All ready for this 5th fight of the evening. Jose Acuña in the fully black trunks. The black and red for the debuting fighter Francisco Ortiz.
Immediately using the reach is Acuña.
Very smart in the corner. Manuel Torres, relax, don't overdo it. Go long, low kick. There it is. Ortiz trying to blitz. Going for the takedown immediately. Acuña with the hands rotating and escaping.
That was beautiful. Had that whizzer and then put that opposite hand on the head, framed beautifully and exited out. Nice. Oh, nice textbook escape.
Going left-handed again, thrown with power with the left kick. They're asking Ortiz to actually check because they're pieced up a little with those low kicks. Ortiz immediately
nice
Acuña
counter.
with a check hook on the exit. Acuña, Sonny, trusting a little in his chin. He's like, I'll take that blitz. I'm just going to get you on the exit.
Those heavy kicks are paying dividends.
Start seeing reddening in the thigh of the left leg by Ortiz. Again with a low kick, going with a calf. And the instruction from Ortiz's corner immediately is like, check. Remember to check. Good overhand by Ortiz, getting Acuña next to the cage. That last right hand actually landed. Let's see if Ortiz can do this. Go for the leg. Again, immediately going for the underhooks. Then the whizzer trying to get out.
Good. He's got that frame again. Oh, nice. Single leg again. That DC high crotch.
Again, second one tonight, trying to get the hooks in. Acuña exits, but some damage done by Ortiz. Again with the low kicks. Again with the low kicks. And if Ortiz is not going to check, Acuña should just keep throwing them and slow him down.
Good, very good takedown defense. Very good cage work and takedown defense. Here we go again. Oh, never mind. Gets taken down right as I said that. But look, he gets right back up.
Trying to get the hooks.
He's got to use the cage to get him off of him. Oh, smartly Ortiz took him off the cage.
There's the body triangle by Ortiz. Let's see if he can work the rear naked choke from here. He has time. 2 minutes left in the first.
A lot of time.
Immediately asking for the corner. 2-on-1 and spin. 2-on-1 and spin. Ortiz going for the seatbelt so Acuna can't turn. Here we go. Hips a little high, but I think he can finish from here. 135 left. Acuna going 2-on-1. Trying to spin and get out. Ortiz very well. Under the hook. Under the chin. It's under the chin. Let's see if we can close it out here. And there's the tap. Apaguen la luz y vámonos. A beautiful rear naked choke for Francisco Ortiz, who gets the win in his professional debut.
That was nice. That whole sequence that led to that victory was nice. Hopefully, let's see if we could get a replay a little bit later. That was beautiful. He closed the distance with some heavy shots, dropped his changed his level, got the takedown, pressured him with the ground and pound, took the back, got the leg triangle to control the body, and then remained patient. Like you said, he had 2 minutes to work. He remained patient, got that choke in. Beautiful finish sequence. Awesome. Great win.
An impressive debut, and that's what we're saying about Francisco Ortiz and Danny Solórzano, who you see there in this corner. Solórzano, there's a reason why he's the national Mexican MMA team coach for those IMF amateur championships. Well done by the debut fighter. Just precise, with just good metal, going for the win and getting the submission. And Sonny, we said at the beginning of the show, we're watching the replay. We just want to send a big hug, a lot of love, a lot of light from the Naciones MMA family to our producer, Andrew Alba. Wishing for a speedy recovery. Also a big hug to his entire family. And hoping to have Andrew Alba, one of our key pieces in Naciones MMA, back in the booth again with us very, very shortly. Our dear friend, Andrew Alba. And here are the replay, Sonny. That takedown again, very smart, closing the hands, getting the position, and just dumping him right on the canvas.
Yeah, this is the finish sequence. He was able to take him down, control him, got that body triangle, and patiently worked that choke until he had it sunk under the shin. And it was just a matter of seconds right after that till he got the tap.
And this, Sonny, is where the height of Acuna actually went against him, because the hips of Ortiz were a little high for the rear naked choke. He's so tall that he can actually close it.
Yeah, that worked against him. A lot easier to get that triangle.
El encuentro a los 3 minutos con 39 segundos del primer round gana por la vía de la sumisión el peleador de la esquina roja, Francisco Ortiz.
At the 3:39 mark of the first round, the winner by rear naked choke, Francisco Ortiz. Coito Perez with the interview. Francisco, you were able to solve the problem of the height. You're crying? What can you say? Some fighters get here very quickly. Well, this was just very difficult for me to be here. And I'm just giving everything, my love. And I'm here. A tough fight. We saw that it was complicated with the combos, with the length, but when you were able to put your wrestler, you could put it on the ground. It was your fight. How do you feel in those seconds? Fuck it up. After the takedown, you could finish this. I had a very tough weight cut, and if we would keep standing, it was just going to be very hard for me. When my coach was always on me, and he always had faith in me, and here's the result. This is also for him. Who do you dedicate this win to? My entire family, Juanita, my love, my dad, my coach, also for him.
Aquí el señor, muchas felicidades. Señoras y señores, Naciones MMA.
Sonny, you were saying Francisco Ortiz is 27-year-old, and you've lived it as a professional fighter, now as a coach. You see all those difficulties for the fighters to be able to fight. 27-year-old making his professional debut, very, very emotional with the win.
Correct. Yeah, it's tough, man. And I've seen it, man. Sometimes you don't have the support. Sometimes you give everything. You sacrifice everything, family time, kids' birthdays, all this stuff. So you could get training, for sometimes people don't believe in you. So you do get very emotional when you get the results, you sacrificed for and you worked hard for. But here's a tell of the tape for that next fight we got coming up.
Our sixth fight of the evening, Jair Landa versus Jesus Garcia. 2-1 the record for Jair Landa, 0-1 for Jesus Garcia. Very young fighters. 21 and 22 for this flyweight fight. Jesus Garcia very light at 120.8, but the same height, 172 for both, which is tall for the flyweight division. 125.3 for Jair Landa, who's back in the Naciones MMA cage. His third fight in the promotion. One is pro debut in Azteca Fight League, another league in Mexico in August of 2021, and now back in Naciones MMA.
Para el peleador de la esquina azul, Jair Landa.
The 21-year-old from Michoacán left everything and moved to Monterrey to train with one of the best teams in Mexico, Lions Alpha team in Monterrey, Nuevo León, with Nino Marroquín and Levi Marroquín, who are in his corner tonight. As we're saying, he won his pro debut, then lost by guillotine his Naciones MMA debut in Naciones 7 in Monterrey against Fernando Ramirez, and won his last fight in December, again in Naciones MMA in Monterrey, against Edgar Romero. This is his third Naciones MMA fight, the BJJ Blue Belt, making his third appearance, and national amateur champion in Mexico in 2018, a striker who regularly competes in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Sonny, Jair Landa, a fighter we both like. We like his attitude. We like how he just walks forward, goes for the finish. Just an exciting fighter, Jair Landa. I'm glad to have him back in the Naciones MMA cage.
We've been lucky to see this kid, gentleman, fight for us both times. Here in Naciones, both of his fights are great. He's a good fighter. He already has a very good amateur background. Trains with, we keep mentioning, one of the powerhouses in all Mexico, in my opinion, the Lions Alpha of Nino Marroquín. So, he had a plan, to leave everything behind. I'm going to go full tilt on this fighting career. And, I praise him for that. I did that myself, too. I left everything behind, decided to go 100% in MMA. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't, but without risk, there's no reward. So hats off to this kid for leaving everything behind his hometown, going to a strange city and starting this career, man. It's going very well for him so far. Let's see how he does on this fight.
We always hope it works, but we respect every single one of them who tries. And Jair Landa certainly at 21 years old has our respect for living his life in Michoacán behind to go to Monterrey.
Jesus Garcia.
Jesus Cayu Garcia, the 22-year-old from Ciudad Madero in Tamaulipas, next to Tampico. There was even a football team called Tampico Madero in Mexico because of how close both cities are. The purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, has competed nationally in kickboxing, considers himself an all-around fighter. He made his pro debut in Naciones 15 in June, losing a decision against Agustin Guzman, and he's back. Sonny looking for his first professional win and his second fight here in Naciones MMA.
This kid's a firecracker, man. This kid's a firecracker. Yeah, he has a lot of energy. He loves to fight. You can tell he has a good time once he's here. Like everything, at the pictures, the press, everything. This kid has a lot of fun. Look at him. He has a lot of fun, and that's good, man. That's what you want to do. You know, you train, you diet. You know, again, we say the word sacrifice again. Time with your loved one, time with your friends. You sacrifice all that to be able to do this, to be able to step inside the cage, be who you are, you know, be able to show what makes you happy. And he's showing it right there, his expression, everything. He's wearing his heart on his sleeve, you know, he's showing how happy he is, and he shows it when he performs. He fights happy.
Oh, and also, Sonny, most of them either work or study, and that's why you sacrifice, right? You either sacrifice the entire time with your family, you sacrifice time from your studies, from your work. It's a difficult career. It's difficult to get to a point where you can actually live off of this. And here they are, two very young fighters, Jair Landa and Jesús Cayo García.
MMA y DAZN traen para ustedes el siguiente combate de la noche en la división de peso mosca. Presentando en la esquina azul con un récord profesional de 2 ganadas, 1 perdida y dando un peso en la báscula de 125 libras de Morelia, Michoacán, Jair Landa. Presentando a su oponente en la esquina roja con un récord profesional de 0 ganadas, 1 perdida y dando un peso en la báscula de 120 libras de Ciudad Madero, Tamaulipas, Jesús El Cayo García. El referee para ese encuentro, el señor Ricardo Treviño.
Ricardo Treviño in the middle of the cage for this flyweight fight, our 6th fight of the evening, the common event. Coming up next, you don't want to miss that, between Gabriel Tinajero and Fernando Vázquez, and then the main event between Christian Torres and Antonio Bautista. Full of finishes tonight here in Naciones MMA 17 on DAZN. Thank you for joining us alongside Sonny Luque, Rodrigo del Campo. And remember to follow Naciones MMA on social media at Naciones MMA, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, or X. Jair Landa with the boardroom, the red shorts in the blue corner, and Garcia with the black and red shorts in the red corner. Immediately Landa, Sonny, you're very familiar to this style. This is literally the Lion's Alpha style, putting you in the cage, get an underhook, and just starting to measure your strength, kicking you, kneeing you, and little by little, starting to win the battle.
Yeah, this is signature Lions Alpha right here. They're very good at working the cage. They're very good at getting the takedowns off the cage and smothering, like we were saying earlier. Ugly fight, you know, it doesn't mean that the style is ugly or that they're being dirty. That's just what we call that, the grueling style. You know, you're on the cage, short ground and pound, takedowns, constant little short elbows and punches like that. That's just what that style of fighting is. It doesn't mean it's ugly to watch or anything. I actually enjoy it, but that's what they're known for. They're very good at this, and I think Garcia is also significantly smaller and weighing in at 120. I'm pretty sure this kid could probably fight at 115, but this is a division where they're fighting in.
Yeah, we've seen a couple. Even Christian Torres could probably cut to 115. There was more of a straight strawweight scene here in Mexico for men. So we're saying that quote-unquote dirty style, just making you carry my weight, short punches, short shoulders, open hand in front of the face, all those like little things that just make you uncomfortable. Landa very heavy there with the hips, going with the elbow, short elbow.
Nice. It's controlling, using his body. Well, I see he's on that half guard right now. Got the top part of his body, the right side of his body, holding Mr. Garcia down. He looks like he might have a head and arm choke if he decides to go for it. But quite honestly, Rodrigo, I like this position. On top, I like to do exactly that, ground and pound. Throw my punches, throw my elbow. I like to stay on that top position. If I'm ever on that, I'm pretty comfortable on that side guard position.
Yeah, Landa can be very heavy in this position, and that's obviously helping here. Garcia looking towards corner. But they're giving Sonny, the corner of Garcia is really making me mad today, Sonny. They're doing exactly what I hate. They're just yelling, get up, get up. Hey, you're the corner. Tell him how to get up. You're the coach. Give him instructions to get up. Don't just yell, get up. He knows he has to get up, Sonny. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Every time. The last time, Sonny, that I was at an MMA show as a fan, I heard one corner yell, get up, and I immediately got up from my seat and started yelling. Tell him how, instead of just saying get up. He knows he needs to get up. Landa trying to go with the back. Let's keep an eye on that right leg of Landa.
See, right there, Garcia's doing the right thing. Right there, Garcia's on his knees. If he could get up on one leg, just get one leg up right there from his knees, he should be able to get right back up from there. But Landa recognized that, and Landa put him right back on his side. But if, Garcia can work his way to his knees. Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt you, Sonny. He got free of the right leg was free, and now he can actually posture, and now he can actually throw with a lot more strength by Landa.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is
that's
the bread
heavy
and butter right
punching.
there. Yep. This is signature Lions Alpha right here. Ground and pound right on the cage.
Oh, there's a bad
cut already.
There's a bad cut on the eyebrow of Garcia. This is what Sonny was saying. Watch out for the triangle. Watch out for the triangle. 1 minute left in the first. They're asking immediately Landa to pass the guard. So the threat of the triangle is gone. 43 seconds. But as you were saying, Sonny, this is the Lions Alpha style. I'm going to put you in the cage. I'm going to take you down, and I'm going to ground and pound you till I get the finish.
Yeah, they're experts at this, man. It's, the smash. It's smash style. Yeah, it's their signature. Smashing them, holding them down with this weight, landing those heavy punches, landing those heavy elbows. This is all on that. I mean, I'd be surprised if it could be even a 10-8 round.
And the cut is, I don't think it's actually on the eyebrow, Sonny. I think it's actually on the little patch of skin between the eyebrow and the hair. On the temple, basically. We're going to see if we can get a shot of it. When it's in the corner, first round over, and of course, Sonny, a 10-9. And as I think the same as you, very close, especially with that cut, very close to a 10-8.
Yeah, no doubt. It's a full domination from Landa since pretty much the whole round. Yeah, was able to get the takedown again. This is signature Lions Alpha. Get the takedown, get the control right there from side mount. He wasn't threatened at all by that Kimura attempt, by that arm lock attempt. He knew he was going to get out and just continue laying those heavy shots. Nice heavy ground and pound.
We're talking about the 3 Ds: damage, domination, and duration. You have 2 of those 3, you should think of a 10-8. If you have the 3, you should score a 10-8. And at least for me, Sonny, even if I think he was close to finishing the fight too. I think he has all 3, and I think this is a 10-8.
I think so too. I think he covered all 3 of those Ds for sure. Nope. They're just taking an extra look at him.
And Treviño immediately was like, get out. If there's another look at it, it should be with all the seconds out. And then the referee could call a timeout, and then the doctor could climb into the cage. Second round, Landa in the blue corner, Garcia in the red. And immediately again taking him to the cage. Switching down, going for the double leg. There it is, Sonny. Immediately getting the takedown. And it's going to be the same story as the first.
And that was on Garcia. As soon as this round started, Garcia did what you're not supposed to do after you just got dominated like that. Stay away from the guy that wants to grab you. Stay away from the guy that wants to put you in the cage. Garcia literally just walked up to him and tried to clinch Landa himself. There he got himself taken down. It's a bad game planning or bad instructions from the coach, but I don't know why they told him to go right back at Landa and clinch him. That's literally what he did as soon as the bell rang.
You need to give yourself some time on the feet. Trying to strike. Well, Nino Marroquín is so confident in the fight. Nino Marroquín is so confident in the fight so that he's recording the fight instead of coaching. Let's see if Garcia doesn't surprise them.
He feels confident in his fighter and the work he's doing so far. Yeah, I give him props for that. I can't do that. I've never been able to do that.
Garcia trying to put the triangle, but Landa very smartly, not with the elbows and the hammer fist. Again with power. Trying to turn around. I'm not even going to comment on the corner, Sonny. I know that's why you're laughing. Trying to go for the armbar. Landa is out. Half guard for Landa now. Oh, they're finally giving instructions, Sonny.
Yes. Yes, he needs to get on his knees right there. Yeah. Right there, when you're right by the cage, you can use the cage to get the guy off your back if he tries to take your back. So right there, you do get on your knees. Once you get on your knees, start turning towards the cage. But Landa's not letting him. He's not letting him. He's not having any of that.
Landa is a fighter I really like, and this is by far the best we've seen him dominating for a round and a half now. Let's see if Landa can put the cherry on top and get a finish here.
Oh, his eye's shut. It looks like Garcia's eye is almost shut. His right eye.
Yeah, Ricardo Treviño could actually ask for a doctor's check here. He's not going to try to get up. He's going to try to put the triangle. But Landa is not having it. Good elbows again. Now with the right. And attacking that right out of Garcia. And this is what we say in Spanish, Sonny. Landa ya se cansó de pegarle. And that's how Landa needs to manage his cardio, Sonny, because it's all him, but he can't keep that rhythm forever. He needs to get a finish here.
He does. Again, Garcia's not doing anything to try to get himself up. I haven't even seen him throw any submission to actually put Landa in worry, in danger. So, yeah, if I was Coach Marroquin, I'd tell him unload, man. Unload those heavy elbows, unload that ground and pound, get that stop, because Garcia's not doing anything to stop you.
.110 left in the second. Asking Landa to pass guard and then try to finish. .51 seconds. Garcia finally is able to stop the barrage for a second by grabbing the arm.
I think it's more Landa getting a breather.
Give him a little credit, Sonny.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, he had the right idea, but
finally try to sweep it up. But
yeah, he had the right idea, but Landa wasn't having any of it.
Landa's been very smart. He's not able to get the finish, but not letting him stand up, not letting him put the triangle in. Went for the armbar at the beginning of the round. And Sonny, my question here is number one: will the corner let Kaju go to the third and get more damage in a fight that he hasn't been even close to doing something, or if he's gonna do something different at the beginning of the third?
A well-educated corner wouldn't. I'm not saying that Mr. Garcia's corner is not well-educated. Maybe that nobody knows your fighter more than your coach or yourself, So I mean, I don't know, but if this Garcia was my fighter and that was a performance he was doing after second rounds for the will of my fighter, I wouldn't let him go out there anymore. He's not doing anything so far that's going to let me think, okay, we have a chance. If we catch him with this, we might get him. We might get him if you keep doing this, or you might do this. He's not showing anything. He's just showing that he could take a beating. So is that really what you want for your fighter? Do you want him to continue to take a beating for 5 more minutes? I wouldn't let him go out again, but again, you never know. The coaches might know something I don't know.
Yeah, we understand the pressure, right? He's an 0-1 fighter. This is the second fight in Naciones MMA, his second pro fight. And we understand, but he's also just 22. And just two fights into his professional career, there's really no shame in saying, hey, you're getting pieced up. This is too much damage. I don't think we should get out on the third. They're going to send him out. And let's see what he does in this start of the third. Immediately goes striking.
See, look at that.
And again,
why are you trying to hold him?
Yeah, immediately again.
Get away from him.
And Nino Marroquin tell him, Landa, hey, let's box. You can box. Let's box him. Do something different here. Nice kick by Landa. Oh, good right hand. By Jair Landa. La Garcia, that's too tough for your own good.
Yeah, it looks like he's just there for a moral victory now, just to say that he went to 3 rounds, because I don't see him getting this win anyway.
Garcia looking for the body. Landa going for the uppercut. Jair immediately take down and say, hey, I didn't like the body shot. Let's go down. I know you're not getting up, and we can stay here for another 4 minutes.
Yep, you don't like that body shot, so he's all right, let's go back to where we were at.
And that's the blessing of the all-around fighter, right, Sonny? Okay, I stood up. I tried. I didn't love it. Let's go down. I know I'm stronger here. I know you're not going to be able to get up. Here we go.
It's called mixed martial arts, ladies and gentlemen. Mixed martial arts. So, yeah,
kickboxing's a beautiful sport. But this ain't it.
Yes, correct. And yeah, he's doing the correct thing. You know, it's you want to take the easiest route to victory. The easiest route to victory without taking damage. And if this is the easiest route to victory, why not? You're not getting any opposition. You're not getting any feedback. You know, he's not trying to do anything to stop you. So, yeah, by all means, keep going till they stop you.
Now, for Landa, who's a young fighter at 21, 1-1. Ricardo Treviño could look here for a stoppage. Garcia isn't doing anything. Again, he's asking Garcia to show him something. Very close to her. I think this is it. I think this should be it. And even the crowd's saying, so there's it. There's the stoppage. Just a mercy stoppage, Sonny, with 2:47 left in the third. Landa completely clean and ineffective. Garcia couldn't do anything in this fight. And this is the third win of Jair Landa's career, who's now on a 3-fight win streak, Sonny.
Total domination from the get-go for Jair Landa. You know, a signature Lions Alpha fight. Signature Lions Alpha victory. You know, grinded him to the cage, took him down, heavy ground and pound, non-stop till he got the win. You know, it's beautiful win, beautiful performance by Jair Landa. Great win, man. And like you said, that's the second win with us, third in a row.
Let's see what happens in Landa's career, bud. There's obviously always work to be done, but every single fight he looks better and better. Looked better today, and we'll look forward to see him again in the Naciones MMA cage. Sonny, the replay here, a little bit of stand-up, a little bit of spinning elbow, but the moment the punches came, Landa immediately said, you know what, let's go down and try to finish this fight.
Yeah, I mean, he had full control on that wrestling and the ground and pound, so why do anything different? You know, the coaches did call it. He tried it for a little bit, and we still got to see how land one body shot, and Landa was like, you know what? I don't like this. Let me just go back to doing what was working. And he got the win. He got the finish. Most importantly, he was able to get that finish. So that's good. That always looks good on the resume. Getting a big win and getting a finish.
That's the finish for Jair Landa. Good fight by him, and of course, immediately, and this is the Lions fight. The Lions Alpha team way, Sonny. Fights literally just finished, and again, we're just starting to talk about what we can correct.
Un fuerte aplauso, por favor. El referee de este combate detiene el encuentro a los 2 minutos con 11 segundos del tercer round. El ganador por la vía del knockout de la esquina azul, Jair Landa.
There's the win, Sonny, on the third round by Jair Landa.
Should I tell him the Yankees didn't make it?
Oh, we're going to talk about it in a second. Jay, how are you feeling today? I'm just really happy. Thankful with Naciones for another opportunity. my cochino Marroquín, all my family that are watching from Michoacán. This is for all of you.
Primer asalto,
This one and the next
tuvimos
one.
un poco de intercambio, después te fuiste a hacer
First
el
round,
dedo,
there's a little bit of exchange. Then
presionando
you
la
do the
reja. ¿Cuándo supiste que tu
double leg
oponente era
takedown,
tuyo?
pushed against the cage. When did you know that the fight was yours? When he couldn't stand up in the first. Okay, I know I can get us on the ground. They told me he was a good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighter, but we're very complete. Lions Alpha team is just a very complete gym.
¿Qué
And this is a
sigue
taste
para
of what we do in the
Irlanda
gym.
en su futuro?
What's next for Jay Irlanda? I want to be in the big stage. This is a long career, but if we keep getting opportunities, we're going to be here.
Felicidades esta noche, excelente trabajo, señor.
There's Jay Irlanda, 73-1 now in his professional career. Good finish by the fighter out of Michoacán.
Great performance, and like you mentioned earlier, Rodrigo, every time we see him, he keeps showing more improvement, more well-roundedness. You know, like he said, they're well-rounded fighters in Lions Alpha. That was awesome. But this fight right here, Rodrigo, woo!
That's the co-main event of the evening. We're going to talk about it in a second with Sonny Luque, Rodrigo del Campo. Thank you for joining us in Naciones MMA 17 from Tampico, Tamaulipas, at the Domo Madero. A new city for Naciones MMA, Sonny, and as usual, we like to focus on the talent of the region, and the fighters from Tampico haven't disappointed tonight.
They brought it, man. It's Naciones brings it. We know that they always bring the action, and I mean, it's Tampico hasn't disappointed, man. We always bring it.
That's exactly the way of Naciones MMA. If you're just joining us for the first time, at Naciones MMA, we visit different cities, different countries, and we focus every single one of our cards to the local talent. We want to shine a light to a talent, especially in Mexico, for different cities where maybe the Mexican MMA scene hasn't really looked towards them or toward those gyms. And we know there's talent. We know there's several fighters from the region that can actually make an impact if given the stage. And this is what we're doing here tonight in Tampico, Tamaulipas. And also, Sonny, we need to take a little bit of a break before the co-main event and talk about Naciones Next, this project that started in 2023, a card of amateur fights that fight just before the televised portion of the Naciones MMA fight, which means they fight with the crowd, they fight with the lights, with the sound, with the screen. And Sonny, just give these fighters a chance in their amateur career to get a little taste of what a professional career would be, and give him a space with the big lights, with the big cage of Naciones MMA, to start working towards the goal of becoming a professional fighter.
Yeah, I mean, how great is that? You know, how great is that to be able to get the opportunity to already fight, you know, already be in the same locker room, same cage. Because trust me, man, the cages on these big shows, on these nice shows like Naciones and these other big shows, the cages are way nicer than your smaller regional show cages. so it feels really good to be able to get a taste of what the big show is going to be like, what the next step is going to be like, and it just kind of gets you more excited as a fighter. You know, you want to go in there and put on more. You know, you want to throw harder. You want to go for those submissions a lot faster, a lot harder. So it's a whole great experience for all these young fighters, up and coming fighters.
And of course, Sonny, like, no one wants to lose. We don't want to talk about losses for the amateur fighters neither, but it also gives you a chance to learn more about yourself, to learn about if you want to be a fighter or not, professional fighter or not. And also, if you lose, Sonny, there's a little more space to maneuver, right? We just saw the case in this the sixth fight of the evening with Jesus Cayo Garcia, who's now 0-2 as a professional. 0-2 as an amateur fighter isn't that hard, isn't that, let's say, that deep, that complicated, that difficult. 0-2 as a professional, I know a 2 start is difficult. It's difficult for a professional fighter, but we also give them that chance, Sonny. As an amateur fighter, if you start 0-1, 0-2, it's fine, nothing happens. It won't affect your future. It won't affect your professional fights. You can go to a tournament. You can go to a different Naciones Next show. Try to get the win, and then start building towards a professional career. On screen, you're seeing our Spanish-speaking Narrators, Goyito Perez, former UFC fighter, current Bellator fighter, and Pedro Vigil from Tamaulipas. And Sonny, we've talked about it during the last year and a half. We've been lucky to work together here in Naciones MMA. How great would it have been when you were starting your MMA career to have these Naciones next fights?
Man, this would have been amazing if I would have had these opportunities. I used to fight at bars for a beer tab is what I used to fight at. That was my amateur career. They would put like a little cage made out of chicken wire in some bar in Mexico, the corners of Mexico, Tijuana, Monterrey, something like that. And then the winner would get a beer tab. That's what we would fight for. That was my amateur career coming up. So, yeah, it wasn't nice lights. It wasn't nice locker rooms. It wasn't announcers. It wasn't TV cameras. It wasn't any of that.
And we're going to see it with the main event of the evening. Christian Torres, a national champ, world championship amateur bronze medalist, more than 15 amateur fights, and then jumping as a professional fighter, now 5-0 in his record. You see, it's all the difference in the world. They're professionals. They know how to make weight. They know how to what to expect of these big shows, of these big fights. And now we want to turn the spotlight to Gabriel Tinajero and Christian Torres, two of the younger fighters in the Naciones MMA cage, two of the younger fighters in the promotion, two very young prospects that we think, Sonny, and we're going to start with Gabriel Tinajero in the comment, that we think it's time to shine the spotlight on them and show them to the world.
Para el siguiente combate recibimos con un fuerte aplauso en la esquina azul a Gabriel Tinajero.
Gabriel Chiquilín Tinajero, the little one, the little dude. 19 years old from Tijuana, Baja California, donde empieza la patria. From Demolition Fight Club. Third out of 3 Demolition Fight Club fighters in this card. Lost his professional debut against Christian Torres in Naciones 3 in Tijuana in January of 2022. We're going to talk about that fight. Because he rocked Torres, Sonny, and almost got the finish, and then got heel hook. But after that, Sonny, 3 in a row with 3 finishes. Gabriel Tinajero is really a very young fighter for a great prospect in the Mexican MMA scene.
We have in Tinajero what we believe to be a team demolition. We've mentioned a lot so far today. Probably his hottest prospect, probably their best prospect, their toughest prospect, Mr. Amado's number 1 fighter, I'd say, or best pupil. So there's a lot riding in him, and he's also one of the Mexico's top prospects. Man, we've had the honor of seeing him grow his whole career with us, pretty much his whole career with us. Like you said, he lost to Christian Torres, which is our main event fighter, and Gabriel Tinajero. Both of these guys were prelim fighters before, and with the experience and with the buildup they've had here in Naciones, they've been mainstays. They've been names here. And now look at this guy. Now he's the co-main event. Torres is going to be the main event. That's what this is all about. That's what we're trying to do, Naciones. Get these guys the experience. Get these guys the fights that they need to grow as fighters. And hopefully get to that extra big show that it is what they want to get. But, I mean, Tinajero's a real deal. And I can't wait to see this kid perform right now.
After losing his professional debut, he beat Jose Aviña in Naciones 8 by TKO, Jose Ramirez at Naciones 11 in Tijuana by TKO, and Dagoberto Tovar in June of this year in Monterrey by rear naked choke, his first submission. 3-1, 3 finishes, a 3-win fight streak for Gabriel Chiquilín Tinajero.
Invitamos a subir a la jaula a su rival en la esquina roja, Fernando Vázquez.
Fernando El Gallo Negro Vázquez, the 25-year-old from Pitbull Academy in San Luis Potosí, all won as a professional. This is his second Naciones MMA fight. He got submitted by Hector Granados in Naciones 1 in March of 2021. Jiu-Jitsu blue belt and national MMA amateur champ in 2017. The first time the FAMM, the Mexican Mixed Martial Arts Federation, organized a national championship. He's also a professional boxer. has competed BJJ regularly. He's never winning accolades. He considers himself an all-around fighter. And Sonny, he might be 0-1. He might be 25. But as you see in his corner, we see Danny Solórzano. We talked about him with Francisco Ortiz. Danny Solórzano, the coach of the Mexican amateur MMA for the IMF tournament, the Mexican national team. We saw what he did, Sonny, with Francisco Ortiz, a 27-year-old that was making his professional debut. In this case, Fernando Vázquez took his time, more than 2 years between fights. He comes back as a completely reborn fighter, Sonny, with a great team like Pitbull's Academy.
It's crazy, man. He's doing a good job. Danny Solórzano, coach for the Pitbull's Academy with this team. I mean, Mexico as a national team amateur, they're ranked in the top 5 in the world. I mean, they're ranked in the top 5, and he's the coach, you know. So he knows what he's doing. He's coaching this team's really, really good. I'm excited for this fight, man. I had this fight marked as fight of the night. It's going to be kind of hard to beat that Jesus Paz and Rodriguez fight from earlier, but I had this one marked as fight of the night earlier. Both of their styles call for an interesting fight. Both of them fancy themselves striker, but we both know that they're well-rounded because we both know about their coaches, and we've seen Tinajero actually get submissions as well. So this calls for a great fight on paper.
That's Gabriel Tinajero, Fernando El Gallo Negro Vázquez for a co-main event of the evening. We're going to go back to the cage with our announcer, Iván Gallegos.
Damas y caballeros, Naciones MMA y DAZN presentan a continuación la pelea coestelar de la noche. Esta pelea será en la división de peso mosca, presentando primero en la esquina azul, con un récord profesional de 3 ganadas, 1 perdida, dando un peso en la báscula de 125 libras. De Tijuana, Baja California, Gabriel Chiquilín Tinajero. Presentando a su rival en la esquina roja con un récord profesional de 1 ganada, 1 perdida, dando un peso en la báscula de 123 libras. De San Luis Potosí, Fernando El Gallo Negro Vázquez. El referee para este combate, el señor Héctor Molina.
Héctor Molina, the referee for the co-main event of the evening between Gabriel Tinajero and Fernando Vázquez. With Sonny Luque Rodrigo del Campo, thank you for joining us for Naciones 17 on DAZN. The co-main of the evening is here. Gabriel Tinajero in the blue corner. And in the red one, Fernando Vázquez. The great strikers. We've seen the style of Demolition Fight Club tonight. And immediately Tinajero with a check hook. Vázquez measuring with the jab. Tinajero measuring the right hand. Oh, nice right hand immediately. Sorry from Vázquez. Amaro asking Tinajero to go first and not let Vázquez measure his distance. One with the 3. That's a good observation, Sonny. Tinajero starting most of his combinations with the 3, with the left hook.
Yep. No.
That's a combination that Tinajero really likes, the 2 and 3. It's going with power with the right and then trying to seal it off with the left hook.
Goes again.
He means business, Sonny. He doesn't like the jab. He rarely throws it. Measures with the kicks, measures with the 3. Because he knows if the 3 lands, the power shot's going to be there for him.
Good little body shot by Vázquez right now. Nice.
Very tense duel. We know both of them can finish the fight without punch. That's the hook by Tinajero, and then the hook by Vázquez.
Good little boxing exchange by both of these gentlemen so far.
Remember that Vázquez boxes professionally. A combo by Tinajero, reaching with the right hand. Vasquez, little by little, son, he's looking more for the body and looking for the liver hook with the left hand.
That was a good little lead knee by Tinajero walking Vasquez to the cage. He landed a good little left knee right to the gut.
That's the kickboxing style of Demolition Fight Club. Using the knees, using the kicks. Again with the left Tinajero, rocking Vasquez. And crossing with the right. Again, 2-3. That combination that Tinajero really relies on. Immediately Amaro, Sonny, he saw the flight from Tinajero and immediately shut it down. It's like, calm, go quickly.
No, that was good. Yeah, that was good. No. Beautiful.
Right and left from Tinajero. Standing even more. He needs to break the clinch. Oh, Vasquez immediately with a trip. Tinajero gets on top and puts him in the cage.
Good wizard and change of position by Tinajero, looking to take the back. But Vasquez recognizes it and is working his way back, using the cage back up. Good job. Good job by both gentlemen. Good little scramble.
Tinajero's improved this round. Got a rear naked choking his last win. Going with the elbows, pushing to the cage. Vasquez looks rocked. Tinajero just biting down on the mouthpiece and going forward. That's the left. That's the last elbow. The mouthpiece is out. 120 left in the third. Going with the elbow again. And now the right. Apague la luz y vámonos. Tinajero decided to step on the gas and finishes the fight for his fourth professional win.
Wow. Man, this Tinajero, that was beastie. Hell of a performance. Worked it down little by little. Started with nice, slow combinations. Like we were saying, that 3-2 kept landing for him all day. He was changing the direction of it too, Rodrigo. He was going low with the 3, high with the 2, vice versa. High with the 3, low with the 2. It was good. It was very good boxing. Towards the end, he was able to get higher volume combinations to finish this fight. And look at how Vasquez ended up, man. Great win by Tinajero. Kid keeps getting better and better each time. Wow.
3 elbows, 3 cuts, Sonny. By Tinajero, and Vasquez originally protested the stoppage, but I don't see anything bad with that stoppage. Tinajero was just piecing him up, knocked him down, and inflicted a lot of damage in very, very short time, Sonny. And it was very notorious, right? Tinajero was getting touched, he was being measured, and the moment he just decided to press on the gas, immediately got the finish.
Yeah, it was very, very well. Very good fight. I mean, it was a very good fight by Tinajero the whole round. You know, they had a good little scramble on the ground where they both kind of reversed positions. And then again, he kind of felt he already had Vasquez hurt with some of these hands, and he just went for the kill. You know, he once he saw that it was over with, he put his foot on the gas and didn't let go of it till he got that finish, man. Beautiful combination so far by all these Demolition fighters, man. We've seen nothing but nice, clean striking by all these Demolition fighters today.
By the way, that was the punch in the back of the neck, Sonny, the back of the head, Sonny. And I know there's some people who want to complain, but if you complain, you haven't read the rules. Tinajero threw, Vasquez went forward, and if the punch lands in the back of the head, hey, you know what? It's Vasquez's fault for leaning into the body and leaning into the head. And that's how he got the punch in the back of the head. And also, Sonny, Vasquez, the mouthpiece, I don't know if the mouthpiece was too big for him. I don't know if he was gassed. Now that I'm seeing the replay of when the mouthpiece flies away, he was already off his front teeth, Sonny. It looked like he was already forward.
Ever since he walked in, I kind of noticed either his mouthpiece was too big or he was uncomfortable with it. But I noticed ever since he walked in, there was a problem with his mouthpiece. So, I mean, a quick funny story. It happened to me once, too. I showed up to my fight and I forgot a mouthpiece. And I was a main event, so I actually had to borrow somebody's mouthpiece from the undercard. And I must have dropped that mouthpiece like 3 times because, of course, it wasn't fitted to me. But I needed a mouthpiece to fight. You can't fight without a mouthpiece. But, yeah, it's things that happen to fighters. I forgot my mouthpiece.
And that's the elbow. Look at that cut. Gee, that's the elbow.
El referee de este encuentro detiene el combate a los 3 minutos con 46 segundos del primer round. El ganador por la vía del knockout de la esquina azul, Gabriel Chiquilín Tinajero.
That's the win by Gabriel Tinajero.
A ver, Chiquilín
Duro, Goyito
Tinajero.
Pérez.
Quinta pelea en Naciones, si no estoy equivocada. Cuarta victoria. ¿Cómo se siente?
Súper feliz.
Five
¿verdad?
Naciones for wins.
Nos
How are you?
preparamos bien duro, la neta.
We're very happy.
Y se dio el
We worked
resultado
really
del
hard for
trabajo.
this fight, and we saw
Empezando el
the
asalto,
results
se
here.
vieron los dos con muy buena técnica.
At the start of the round, both of them
Una
were
vez que vistes que tu oponente
boxing
te
with
estaba
good
presionando
technique.
mucho con
Once
boxeo,
that you saw that your
utilizaste esa lucha.
opponent was
¿Cómo te
pressuring,
sentiste
you
después de
started
ese
going with
tiempo que
a little wrestling.
Pues,
How do you feel after the
confío, la
takedown?
verdad,
I was just confident.
He evolucionado mucho y confío en mi trabajo.
I've
confío
really
en mi
developed,
Alberto Amaro, en mi
and I trust in my work. I trust in my coach, Alberto Amaro.
Quiero agradecer
David
también a
Sánchez, my
todo mi
jiu-jitsu
equipo,
trainer.
Mamá, hermanas, las amo un chingo.
All my team, my mom, my sisters, I love you all.
ha sido un
And we're going to get
apoyo,
another win.
Fuerte para cada atleta es apoyo.
There's been a lot of support for these fighters, the family.
En esta carrera de las artes marciales.
How have they received you in this MMA?
Bastante, tengo muchísimo,
career.
muchísimo apoyo, mucha gente que
I have all the support.
y eso es lo que me
A lot of people that want me to see, that want to see me win, and that makes me go forward. And there's Chiquilín for a long, long time.
Para Tinajero en el futuro.
After 4 in a row, what's next for
Lo que la
Tinajero?
empresa mande, estamos listos, estoy
What the company
preparado
wants,
y
we're
vemos que hay
ready,
un problema en la división.
and I'm going to be a problem in the division. Tony Luque, the wars of Gabriel Tinajero. I'm just going to say one thing. I'm just going to say one thing, Sonny, and I know our president, Balu Vargas, is watching. A little birdie told me, Sonny, that there might be belts next year. Okay? If there's a belt next year, Sonny Luque, the main event is Christian Torres. Maybe the 125 belt could be a grudge match between Christian Torres and Gabriel Tinajero. I'm just putting it out there, Sonny Luque.
Imagine if Christian Torres gets the win today and we could build that up. Torres and Tinajero rematch and 125 champ. They both deserve it. They both been on. Tinajero hasn't lost a fight since he lost to Torres, and he hurt Torres on that fight. And Torres hasn't lost, period. So I mean, Torres still has to fight today, so we'll see how he does. But I mean, that would be great. And not to mention, too, Rodrigo, our 155 division in Naciones is stacked. I'd love to see a 125 belt or a 155 belt.
Yeah, I think those are the best divisions. Not to make anyone shorter, but these are the two best divisions in Naciones MMA today, and we'll see what happens. We're seeing the best of the entire show. 7 fights done. The main event to come here at Naciones MMA 17 from Tampico, Tamaulipas, with Sonny Luque. Rodrigo del Campo, Gerardo Basaldúa won the first fight. Then Jesus passed with the split decision over Alexander Rodriguez. Eric Muñiz beating Raul Sanchez. And now on screen, Sonny, Jocelyn Ortiz and Fatima Covarrubias. Jocelyn Ortiz, the teammate of Gabriel Tinajero, 2-1 for the fighters of Demolition Fight Club today.
Yeah, and even the one that didn't win showed amazing performance. It's a hell of a fight. I mean, that's like I said, that one's up for fight of the night so far, in my opinion. But yeah, here we have one of the few submissions we've had so far today. I think the only submission actually we've had today.
The only submission, Francisco Ortiz submitting Jose Acuña. A very emotional win from Francisco Ortiz, making his professional debut at 27 years old. He was talking about all the difficulties to get his professional career started and how, with the support of his trainers, his coach Danny Solórzano, and his family, he's trying to go as a professional fighter. And then Jair Landa, who just fully dominated Jesus Garcia, Sonny, in this fight.
Good job, man. It was completely dominance by Jair Landa. And then here we have the fight that we just saw. Look at that. Wow. We just have the fight we just saw right now. Tinajero putting the beating right here. Getting that W, man. Getting that 4th win in a row. We've had an amazing night so far. So far, we're on cue with the finishes, man. So far, we're on cue.
That is the tail of the tape for the main event of the evening. Christian El Alacrán Torres versus Antonio Bautista. in this flyweight division. And Sonny, we're talking about Christian Torres, one of those fighters who's had a long amateur career, was a 3-time national champion in Mexico. And it shows, Sonny, ever since we saw him make his professional debut at Naciones MMA 1, we saw how much that amateur career counted when he switched to pro.
Christian Torres, without a doubt, is one of Mexico's hottest prospects. This kid is groomed to be on the TV, on the big show, groomed to be a champion. He's groomed for great things, man. I mean, the kid talks very good on the microphone. The kid is very polite. He carries himself very well, always makes weight, hasn't lost, great striking, great ground game. He's got the whole package, man.
Waiting for the start of the main event here at Naciones MMA 17 with Sonny Luque. Rodrigo del Campo, thank you for joining us. This evening, the main event ready to walk out. We're seeing Antonio La Curra Bautista. Another fighter, Sonny, who missed weight yesterday. 129.4 in his first attempt, 127.6 in his second. Got fined 30%. And again, Sonny, a rehydration clause at 135 pounds, which he had to hit, Sonny, 5 hours and 20 minutes ago here at the venue.
Yeah, man, like we said earlier, that's tough. That's really tough for anybody to do. It's very tough to handle. It's very demoralizing because, like I said, you're waiting so long to finally drink water, finally eat, and you still can't. You still got to wait another day, and then you're about to fight. So I don't know how that goes out for him, man, but we'll see. I mean, we know about Antonio Bautista. He has killer striking. We see him on the record as a one-on-one guy, but I mean, his striking, his Muay Thai is top-notch, man. Like, without a doubt, some of the best Muay Thai in his area where he's from. So this kid's really, really good when it comes to stand-up. And this is one of the things we wanted to see Christian Torres. We wanted to see how he would handle somebody a striker the caliber of Antonio Bautista.
Yeah, the last time he faced a pure striker in Gabriel Tinajero, who was just making his professional debut, he got tested. He got rocked. 24 years old from Ciudad Madero, Tamaulipas, trains MMA at Black Mamba, trains Muay Thai at Soldado Gym. Is one of the best Muay Thai gyms in Mexico with Oscar Perez, one of the Muay Thai gyms in Mexico that actually had international experience going to Thailand often to fight. Well, we'll see what Antonio Bautista can do tonight.
Christian Torres.
From León, Guanajuato, the 22-year-old Christian El Alacrán Torres trains at Yudansha Fight System with his uncle Carlos El Sensei Torres, one of the pioneers of Mexican MMA. We see him in the back, and also his uncle is right there, and his dad is right there, a 3-time amateur national champ in Mexico, a world bronze medalist in the IMAF Worlds in 2019. 5 professional fights, 5 wins, every single fight in Naciones. He beat via armbar Ricardo Hurtado in Naciones MMA 1. Eli Perez also by armbar in Naciones MMA 2. Gabriel Tinajero, as we mentioned, by heel hook in the first round in Naciones 3. Naciones MMA 9. He faced Fernando Ramirez, another armbar win. And then Christian Cerda, the most difficult fighter of his career so far, by rear naked choke in Naciones MMA 15. Sonny, he has never even been to the halfway point of a 3-round fight. His longest fight, 2:27 of the second round.
Yeah, man. Like we said, this kid's a stud. This kid's groomed for greatness. All finishes. He's looked very good in all his fights. The only little blemish, the asterisk I put behind it is that Tinajero fight where he did get dropped. But I'd say he had a little bit more experience than Tinajero at the time and was able to capitalize after that. So I like to see that fight again with both of them having more experience. But that's another subject. We're not talking about that right now. But other than that, Christian Torres has looked completely cool, collective, follows the game plans, knows what his fight is, knows what his strong points is, and always gets the job done.
Yeah, even in that fight with Tinajero, he said that's the hardest I've been punched. Well, even in that one, he was calm, cool, and collected and got the heel hook for the win in the first round. Going back to the cage for the announcement of the main event of the evening.
Tampico está lista. Su comandante está lista. Naciones MMA y DAZN presentan a continuación para todos ustedes la pelea estelar de la noche. Es un combate que es sancionado por la Federación de Artes Marciales Mixtas, su presidente Ubaldo Marroquín. El referee para este combate, Héctor Molina.
Héctor Molina will be the referee for this main event.
En la división de peso mosca, presentando en la esquina roja con un récord profesional de una ganada, una perdida, dando un peso en la báscula de 127 libras. De Ciudad Madero, Tamaulipas, Antonio Lacurra Bautista. Presentando a su oponente en la esquina azul, con un récord profesional invicto de 5 ganadas, 0 perdidas, y dando un peso en la báscula de 123 libras, de León, Guanajuato, Cristian el Alacrán Torres.
Everything ready for the main event of Naciones MMA 17 with Sonny Luque, Rodrigo del Campo. Thank you for joining us on the zone. There's the prospect Christian Torres. He wanted to be tested by a striker. Well, he's facing a professional Muay Thai fighter in this main event of the evening. Someone out of position outside of the cage, and Héctor Molina asking them to move. Everything's ready. With the black and blue, Christian Torres. With the black, Antonio Bautista. In the red corner. And immediately, Sonny, the local fighter, getting the cheers of the audience.
Yeah, we see Torres backpedaling, waiting for Bautista to come towards him so he could close the distance and do exactly that. Good job by Torres.
Immediately with a single leg. And this is where Torres excels. He's very heavy for his size. Can get a back take quickly. And now,
full mount already.
Full mount. Watch out for the elbows. Torres has nasty elbows. He's seeing a katagatame there.
Yep.
Immediately getting posturing up. And trying to strike, and I don't know, Sonny, if Bautista has recognized that Torres is teasing that arm triangle.
He keeps looking for that arm triangle. Yeah, he keeps looking for that arm triangle. He gets Bautista to turn every time he lands those elbows, and there he goes again. He's fishing for it. There he goes again.
He's looking for it. Bautista was able to get up. Now he's going for the armbar. Inverted armbar for Torres.
Nice.
He was able to get the arm out Bautista. Now again. Going for it again.
He's out again.
The arm is out. Sonny, how did Bautista get free from those?
Wow. Good defense. Good submission defense. 2 tight arm bars, and he was able to get off both of them. And now he's back on the mount position.
As we've said, he's a small flyweight. Was 123 in the weigh-ins very easily. Needs to add some bulk to his frame. Good elbow by Torres, just sharp and quick. Now, that's what surprises me, Sonny. This ground up by Torres. Just calm and collected, as we've said. Just a sharpshooter from that position. And he's already cut Bautista.
There's no hurry. He's got plenty of time. He's doing everything exactly how he's supposed to be doing. He's got full control. He's dominating this fight. There's plenty of time. Calm, collective, straight to business. I'm telling you, man, this kid's a stud.
2:30 left in the first. Again with the elbows. This basically with the power saying, either you eat all my shots or give me your back. It's your choice.
I'd like to see Bautista shrimp a little bit towards the cage so he could use that cage maybe to get himself up a little bit because there's no resistance right here for Torres from Bautista.
Going to go in the first.
Yep.
Trying to go for the armbar again.
Armbar.
It's going to be hindered by the cage. Turns. And there he is. The legs are going for the Jigatame. Let's see if we can turn Bautista. There he is. And Bautista again.
He's out again.
Keep going, he's up. 1:30 left in the first. These are the challenges, Sonny, that we wanted Torres to face today.
I'm going to go on a limb and say they drilled the hell out of armbar defense for this fight camp.
It's been flawless today, Sonny. I'm sure he did it. 110, and he's trying to demoralize Christian Torres by escaping. He escaped 4 submission attempts today already. 1 minute left in the first. Torres going for the back, going for the suplex. Oh, grabbing. A very blatant cage grab by Bautista and a hard warning by referee Hector Molina. 40 seconds left in the first.
Needs to be careful with the going forward. He needs to wait for, Bautista needs to wait for Torres instead of Bautista going forward. If Bautista keeps going forward, Torres is going to change that level, take him down again. If I was Bautista, I'd be waiting. I got to wait for the jiu-jitsu guy to come at me so I can put my strikes at him instead of me going forward for him and making his job easier. I don't want to make his job easier for me being right there for him to take me down.
10 seconds left in the first. A clear round for Torres, but with a surprising Bautista, Sonny, that escaped 4 submission attempts in the first round.
I'm impressed, man. I'm impressed. All of those arm bars were tight. And we know Christian Torres is good at finishing arm bars. So like I said, man, I'm pretty sure they drilled that in fight camp. Now it's the gas tank. How's Christian Torres' gas tank? Like we were mentioning earlier, he doesn't go to the second round much. He hasn't seen more than half of a second round in all his career. And we just saw him go for 4 submissions and miss them all. How's his gas tank? This is a very good test for him.
Seeing the highlights from round 1. And again, Sonny, we need to ask the question. We talk about the 3 Ds and looking for a 10-8. Damage, duration, and domination. And Torres at least had 2 of them. He wasn't close to finishing the fight. The submissions were there, but they weren't really that tight during the round. He did have damage. He did have duration. So I think it's on the edge, but worth considering a 10-8 in the first round.
You're right. I'd say that's right on the edge. I'd give it 2 out of 3 of the 3 Ds, but yeah, it's right on the edge, man. It could be. It could possibly be because he did have the domination for most of the round.
Remember that with 2 out of the 3, judges should consider a 10-8. With 3 out of the 3, judges should score a 10-8. They're asking Bautista to go to a spinning back elbow. Oh. It's like, hey, please listen. Nice. I'm translating it into polite English, but they're yelling at Bautista to actually listen to the corner. The 3rd left, going for the right.
Oh, yeah. That's what he
Torres
wants.
immediately went for the leg.
Bautista's aggression is going to work against him because he can't help but to go forward, and that's making Torres a lot easier, his job a lot easier.
I mean, to remind everyone, Sonny, that Bautista missed weight in 2 attempts, and he's obviously bigger today. And Torres has been having difficulty with the size of Bautista. And remember that Torres is a small flyweight. He weighed in at 123.7.
Correct. We were mentioning how Torres is a small lightweight, and we do have Bautista missing weight, so he does look significantly bigger in this.
If this round gets to the halfway point, this would be the longest fight of Torres' professional career. And for the takedown, there you go, double leg. Blasting by Torres. And going for side control immediately.
It's a good time shot, good time takedown. He's on side control right now. He's going to be looking to pass to full mount. It looks like that's what he's doing. And he's also securing that head and arm choke again.
Knee on belly, yeah. Look at that left arm immediately going for the back of the neck. 3 minutes.
And again, Bautista recognized it, and Bautista was able to escape again.
Good elbow by Torres. Again with the elbow.
I think if Torres is going to win, it's going to be this way. He's able to control Bautista. So I think if he wants to get this win, I think this is how he's going to have to be doing it. From the top position, ground and pound. Because it looks like his submissions aren't working so far.
And Sonny, this is officially the longest fight of Christian Torres' professional career. Going past the halfway point of the second round. Side control for Torres.
Oh.
Wants to get the crucifix. He gets to get some volume here.
He has
and
that
they're
crucifix.
in the corner, Sonny. Try to get him without intelligent defense and just blow everything you have until you get a stoppage.
Go for some short elbows right there.
$150 left in the second. Torres trying to elbow with the left. That's the control that Torres has. Control a significantly bigger fighter today.
Oh, there he goes.
Go for the armbar again.
Triangle.
Go for the triangle now. 130 left in the second. That looks tight. Trying to straighten the arm. They're asking Bautista to lift Torres. And there's the tap! Christian Torres securing the triangle. 6 have tried. 6 have fallen. He stopped every single one of them. Christian Torres gets his 6th win and his 6th stoppage as a professional fighter.
He worked for that one. Longest fight of his career so far. With a little test, what a test! It was a good little test for him. Bautista showed some resilience. He showed to be dangerous on the striking. Had Torres backing up the whole time, looking for those smart time takedowns that finally got his jiu-jitsu to prevail. That's what we've seen at Torres. His jiu-jitsu prevailed, and he does it again. 6 in a row.
And that's what we needed to see from Torres. We needed to see him get uncomfortable, get in difficult positions with an opponent that would escape the chokes, that would escape the submissions, that just would not go away. And that's exactly what today Antonio Bautista gave him. Gave him the toughest fight of his career, the longest fight of his career. And again, Sonny, the thing that I love the most about Christian Torres, again, in difficult positions without being able to finish the fight, calm. I've never, even when Gabriel Tinajero almost knocked him out, I've never seen Christian Torres frazzled, Sonny.
Cool, man. He's a cool customer. Cool hand Christian is what we should call him, man. He doesn't falter. He remained in still, man. That's just signs of a well-trained fighter that trusts his game plan, trusts his skills. He knew what the plan was. He knew the plan was to take the fight to the ground, Be patient. The submission is going to be there. The submissions were there since the round one. It's just Bautista was able to escape all of them. Christian stayed true to his plan, kept attacking those submissions, finally got him. You know, that's a testament of a good fighter that trusts what he's doing.
With a good coach, with a good corner, a family that has dedicated their lives to martial arts, pioneers of MMA in Mexico, and here's their next generation. Carlos Torres just doing great work as a professional fighter.
Detiene el encuentro a los 3 minutos con 41 segundos del segundo round. Gana por la vía de la sumisión y continúa invicto Cristian el Alacrán Torres.
Fuerte aplauso por parte de Cristian Torres. Cristian, te hemos visto desde tus primeras peleas aquí en Naciones.
Christian, we've seen you since your first professional fights here in Naciones. How are you feeling being your first main event here in Naciones MMA 17 and also winning?
Primero que nada, muchas gracias Tampico por siempre recibirme.
First of all, thank you, Tampico.
Me encanta Tampico. Los amo
I come here often. I love Tampico.
Javier, Raúl, Tami por siempre recibirme con tantas
Thank you, Javier, Raul, Tami, for always
pues ahora me siento bien
opening your door
emocionado.
for me, and I'm really excited.
Como profesional, estoy muy
I started my
agradecido.
professional career here in Naciones, and I'm very thankful with the organization, with Eduardo Vargas, with all the team, and thank you for the opportunity, my teachers, Carlos and Fernando, who are always helping me, and thank you to all of them. Where possible,
Una pelea que
everything
se vio
has
bien
been made possible by
comprometida
that.
al momento de
A
ir
fight that was
striking
compromised
en Naciones,
when
uno
went
al
to the
otro.
striking,
¿Cuándo viste
good
que
combinations,
podías
one to the other.
tumbarlo y hacer tu lucha
When
y
did you
empezar
notice that you could
presionando
knock him
con tu
down,
jiu-jitsu y
take
tu
him
gran
down,
paz?
and pressure with your jiu-jitsu?
Pues trabajamos, yo me considero un peleador completo.
I'm an all-around fighter. This is something we always work.
De agarrarme a golpe, siempre busco la oportunidad de hacer lo que es MMA.
It's not just brawling. I look for the opportunity to
Aprovecho
finish the
cada
fight however I can,
cada error que se comete.
and I take every opportunity I can, and every mistake my
¿Qué
opponent makes to win the
tiene
fight.
en la mente? ¿Qué tiene en la mente Torres?
What's
para
on your
su
mind,
futuro?
Christian Torres,
Lo
for your
siguiente,
future?
¿qué sigue para Torres?
What's next for you?
Buscando lo más grande, como siempre, no me gusta
Well, we're looking for the biggest thing ever.
un objetivo porque siempre voy más allá y si hay algo
We don't have a fixed goal because we're gonna always go past it.
crecimiento y con la vista
Constant growth, and
allá de las montañas que alcanzas a ver.
with my eyesight after the mountains. Who do you want to dedicate this victory
Mi
to?
mamá, mi papá, a mis hermanos,
My family, my dad, my mom,
Giovanni, especialmente a Iván, que mi hermano pues tiene la
especially
oportunidad
to my
de asistir a mi mundial.
brother Ivan, who's going to be in the IMF
Yo fui
World Championship.
19 y quiero que esto lo motive
I competed in 2019. I got a medal, and
duro porque
I won this to motivate him so he can train hard
ahí en primer lugar.
because I think he can be a gold medalist.
Cristian Torres, ganador de la pelea estelar de esta noche.
Sonny, look at a little birdie just texted us during the interview and said, hey, maybe Tinajero Torres would be a good main event for a championship at 125.
Man, and I wouldn't say a little birdie. I'd say that's a pretty damn big bird in Naciones, if not the biggest bird in Naciones. So this is a very credible and very reliable bird that we just heard that we might have. Tinajero versus
sir.
Torres main event for the 125 inaugural Naciones title, man. Wow.
Hey, titles can come in 2024 for Naciones MMA. Stay in touch at Naciones MMA on Instagram, on X, on TikTok for our next shows and for the plans for 2024 that just might bring the first belts in the history of Naciones MMA. And Tinajero against Torres would be a great fight. Sonny, your overall thoughts on this Naciones MMA 17 card?
Rodrigo, we brought it, man, like we always do. We estimated that was our call, that 7 out of the 8 fights are going to be finished. We got 7 out of the 8, man. We got 7 out of the 8. Like always, great show by Naciones, great finishes, great prospects that maybe a lot of people that were watching weren't familiar with. Now you get to see these guys. Now you get to know these guys. And it's great fights, man. Great fights by Naciones. Thank you to all the staff. Thank you to the producer for making this event possible. And it was great being a part of it, Rodrigo.
Completely agree with you, Sonny. Thank you, Edgar Limon, our producer. The entire staff of Naciones MMA. I know it's a hard setup today with the heat in Tampico. And again, want to send our love to our producer, Andrew Alba, and his entire family. And hopefully we have him soon back in the Naciones MMA booth. For my partner, Sonny Luque, the entire team of Naciones MMA, the entire team of DAZN, my name is Rodrigo del Campo. Thank you. Thank you for being here with us in Tampico, Tamaulipas for Naciones MMA 17. Stay in touch at Naciones MMA on every social media for our next event.